I'm amazing.
Exactly.
I'm amazing.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, he killed me.
I'm getting brutally slaughtered.
No, that was an accident. No, that was an accident. That was an accident. Ooh, was that a triple collab? Get up! No! Ah! No! Get up! Get up! No! Oh! No!
Why this happened to me?
Oh. What did I do? It's an accident. Oh, what?
Why? Why? What?
I hate this game. I freaking hate this game. Oh, I fell. I did the water bucket thing. I did the water
did
bucket
it.
thing.
Nice.
Don't touch it. No!
Last Pokemon left, and our full team still with us. The nerves were high, but seeing that it was a Torkoal gave us some relief.
Torkoal. I changed to the wrong guy. Hydro pump the hell out of him. Let's go!
Just like that, we defeated the champion of the Hoenn region in our first ever Pokemon Nuzlocke.
What? Why isn't it showing the thing? What's up, guys? Wrong one. I'm such a noob. What the heck? It's not showing the right browser thing. What's up, guys? I'm so tired and excited at the same time. It should be showing the... Oh. Hey, what's up, G? How are ya? Oh, I know why I didn't show. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. There we go. How is everyone doing? Look at that. Oh, look at that. I'm still having so much fun with the boom thing. How are you, Doctor? How are you, Chi? How are you, Nathan? Bro really said test. Yeah. How do you... Why do you guys see my previous messages? I was testing chat, okay? I was testing chat. Let me lower the music. Oh, Tyler requested this last time. This is a weird song. Alright, we have a lot of videos to watch, mostly because Nathan sent like a billion TikToks. But, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Fine, how is you? I'm good. Good to hear. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully soon I think in 2 weeks we'll have daily videos on a separate YouTube channel, so that should be fun. Oh my god, why is this not working? Oh, I'm untightening the screw. That's dumb. I should stop. Okay. Let's get started. This is the first meme of the day. TikToks are a bit annoying because I can't, I don't know where the beginning is. I guess, there we go. Oh, I like this song. Alright, we're gonna lower it a bit. Let me know if the music is too loud. It's supposed to be just a little bit background, you know?
You ain't even gonna do nothing? You ain't even
What?
gonna do nothing?
Joke's on you, Arlie. I did it, but I was a woman.
Modern problems
What?
modern solutions.
What the hell is that? I don't even. That's not funny, bro. You gotta find the funny one.
She keeps calling you boo to Alabama.
You shall go. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. People just got home and I have no headphones. Oh, where's the aw button? That's an aw right there. Oh, I'm doing Gucci though.
I saw a guy do this in a toothpaste ad once. Ta-da!
I don't get it. I'm too much of a boomer. Hey, Pokemon. What am I watching? What? Why? What is this? I don't get it. I don't know what they said, but it sounds serious. What? Oh, I thought you control it, but they were legit just talking to each other. I thought it was controlled by someone pressing buttons. Yo, that was funny. I'm finally going to get Black Air Forces. Nice! Congratulations, bro. Wow. I said previous message while we were on the Bugs Bunny video. Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad. What's up, Mac? How are ya?
Freezing out here, just gotta. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whoa.
That's some good voice acting. Hey, what's up, Prince?
Oh, shit. Oh, my.
How are ya?
Hop on over there. Hey, wanna see a cool move? Ooh. No, it's not over there. Maybe it's, in the.
Ooh.
No. I can feel it. Freezing out here, just gotta.
It's freezing out here. Okay, I think, and therefore I am. That's a saying, right? I gotta shave. Look at that. Ugh. I just realized I'm like below. I have to be like this. And my jacket is kind of in the way. My head is bigger today, if you guys noticed. Been busy. Oh. You like the emotes? Oh, I'm trying to make this more cooler. There we go. The best memes of the internet. This is actually funny. I do this with my dog too, to be honest.
You can't park there.
Watch your head.
Oh snap! Oh, what?
Watch your head.
These are good.
Lower your-
These are funny. That's a weird looking giraffe.
Okay, you're not learning too quick.
Or cat?
Alright, watch
Weird
your-
looking cat. Is that a cat? Hey, copyright music. Oh, snap. I used to have that basketball thing too. The first one is the best. Hey, Empoleon. School been stressful. Aw. You got this, bro. You got this. Your dog is lunch? For some of my friends, yes. My dog's been good. He's been Gucci. He's just been chilling. My brother, it's Hanukkah right now, so it lasts for 8 days. My brother tried to pick up my dog to take a picture with him, and he almost bit him, which is good. My brother should get bit. I don't know. Oh my god, you guys ever played with that when you were a kid? Oh. You laugh, you lose. I don't laugh, bro. I don't laugh. I'm a robot. I'm not gonna laugh at that.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that was so cool, actually. Nasty. Your cousin got a new dog? Nice. That's good. Thank you. That was kind of funny. Hey. Oh yeah, can I press M for mute? I could! It works on TikTok too? That's awesome. Oh my god, that's so good. Yo, Timmy! What's up, bro? Long time no see. How are you? Dog playing with the dreidel? I wish. Oh, she's cute. Oh no, never mind. My dog plays with himself. I mean, no, he doesn't play with the dreidel. What does he do? I don't know. I like playing with his boom mic arm. You laugh, you lose. Cat edition. Ha ha ha. I don't laugh at any of this.
Oh, my cat.
Bro, all cats look the same. Changed my mind. It's going good. Very nice. Hey, I could get copyrighted for that. I don't know if that's true. Wait, if I type out volume, is it gonna do something? No, it didn't do anything. No pixel. Yes. That's a Reddit. I mean a Minecraft thing, right? That's kind of funny. Oh, okay.
What the? Wait. I'm about to.
Oh, whoa. Don't kill your cat, guys. Butter dog with the butter. I don't get why people find these things funny. People have different senses of humor. I don't have a sense of anything. But no, I have a sense of... What do I have? I feel like my sense of humor is like a bit edgy. But yeah, some of these are funny. No 5M server that Summit and XQC play on? 5M? Wait, you were playing GTA like roleplay, right? So I'm assuming it's that, yeah? My sense of humor is all over the place. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's kind of hot. You know what I like? I like
good potato salad.
You know what, guy? I'll tell you guys, okay? I feel like my sense of humor changes from time to time too, but there's this guy on YouTube. Wait, Cynthia says ara ara?
Hey, you know what's better than a $5,000 piece?
Oh my god. Hey, Justin, what's up? GTI RP, yeah? So have you gotten on that server? Are you serious? Isn't that like amazing? Me and 4 of my friends got in. We met Summit. Oh, hell yeah. Wait, that's awesome. Wait, are you streaming? Or are you like making videos of it? Or are you going to do something with it? Or are you just like playing? Wait, I want to hear this. Zaku doko ni itta ka? You know what ara ara means? Oh well, or huh, or like, how'd they translate it here? Ara ara, oh no, or like, my, yeah, my. Ara ara. That's not what I was trying to look for to be funny. All right, never mind. I already forgot. No, hey, Minecraft's gonna sue me. You laugh, you lose. Oh, I was like, wasn't this in the beginning? You're just chilling? Nice. Linus? Who's a Linus? Did you watch my video on YouTube? You put up a video recently on YouTube? Let's go to YouTube. Hey, from One Piece. Very nice. You guys, the music's not bothering, right? It's just a little bit in the background. Let's see. Justina. Sir Rusquila. Oh my god. You guys want to see something funny? I searched up Sir Rasquila, and we got Lux. We got Xavier. We got freaking YouTube Rewind from Vaughn. It's like everyone from the group. Hey, look at those muscles. You heard the sound effect? I added that like yesterday. Yeah, muscles. I got muscles. I got muscles. I think they went away by the time I pressed that button. This is your favorite song? Fair enough. Oh, not your video? Oh. I'm killing my thumb in the already broken headphone jack just to get a little bit of sounds that is jittery. Oh. Big strong boy! The video you sent. Oh, I don't know. I put all the links of the videos everyone sent here, so. Possibly not. I did have muscles. This is a great song. Okay, let's get to the next TikTok. Oh, snap! I don't know why it was funny to watch the second time. Cuando llego Barocha a la casa. Yo, so true. Oh. Hey. Oh, snap. Lizards are so cool. Oh my god, stop using copyrighted music. Oh. That was kind of funny. Extreme stretch. You'll be back in a bit? I gotta get up for this. You know what my parents said the other day? And my brother and my sister? They said they think I'm doing something sus when they hear me stretch. And I tell them I'm just stretching. But they don't understand. Anyway. Oh my god, that feels weirdly good-ish. Honey wheat. Aw, my dog has been in that. I think I've seen that one. Oh, snap.
Mobile phones I mentioned yesterday.
Memes. Bro, I'm dying of laughter.
Hello, little rat.
This is so funny.
What are you? Are you a rat? I don't know.
That's Jesus. Since when do they allow TikToks to be so long? I just screwed up. Oh, I'm so dumb. I broke my mic. God damn it.
There.
I dare you to
kiss each other. He's gonna call the guy. He's gonna call the guy.
I kinda don't need to call my crush because they're in this car.
What? I knew it. Bro, that was so obvious, bro. I'm gonna have to hold my mic like this now. Oh god.
There he goes. Little guy.
Is that a pet possum? Jesus. Alright. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna screw it in, guys. I'm such a failure. Mode extreme.
Porsche obviously blundered the attack by the Mercedes, but
screw in. Screw in.
And that Porsche obviously blundered the attack by
oh my
the Mercedes,
god. I'm such a loser. What's up, Darkness? How are ya? Sorry, I'm trying to fix my mic. There we go. Now we're just gonna This is so stupid. Okay. I think I almost fixed it. Oh my god. Stop slapping him. Let me screw it in. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm a professional streamer. It's okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, I can't hear the music. Oh, I hate when that happens to me. Tired, exhausted. Damn, I'm pretty tired too. I don't know why. Things you put in are very repetitive. Lol. Send some good TikTok.
Grab your butt cheeks and pull out my whip.
Oh my god. What the hell is that? Alright, next is a 10-minute video. Wow. Why are you tired and exhausted, Dark?
Dirt block, because if one falls into the void, there's no way to replace it. And as you carefully navigate your absurd circumstances, I think Skyblock at its core is the ultimate challenge in resource management.
Would you guys want to see me play Skyblock? Because I won't.
Tiny island.
Just kidding, maybe.
All you have is a tree, some supplies, and some dirt to stand on. You have to treasure every dirt block because if one falls
slept very well in
void,
2 days.
There's no way to replace it. And as you carefully navigate your absurd circumstances, you gain a new appreciation.
It's not good, man.
You have as you meticulously use them to their fullest effect, with nothing but.
Yes, maybe one day I will. Well, I hope you get good night's sleep tonight. You know, maybe like watch some, like don't go on your phone before you go to sleep or something. Well, I don't know the reason that you're not gonna get sleep, but
saplings, you slowly transform this empty expanse into.
I played Skyblock before, but not much.
Teaches us that no matter
I think I played it. I just thought, just remember it's the weekend. Let's go. Yep.
That one day we'll look back at where
that would be a morning sleep
and be amazed by how far we've come.
Yeah. Wait, you said you're in India, right? 10-minute video, pauses it every 10 seconds. Wait, what'd you say? I'm so funny. That's how you make content.
Recently released their own unique take on the Skyblock genre. So basically,
this guy sounds like he's depressed.
You cut down a tree, you bridge over to the other island.
I thought that said 100, mama. Thought that said mama. What is this? Summer 4th, your island, purse. What is this? Is this normal? You are from India. Exclamation but funny. Yo, so wait, should I make that? Should I make a funny counter? Oh, that would be funny. You see what I did there? I'm sorry. Funny counter. Oh my god, it's not. Alright, I'll think about it. I draw on my phone, and I usually do it before I go to sleep. So, I think I got the solution for you. Haha. Do not draw on your phone. Oh my god, I messed it up. Yeah, try not to draw on your phone before going to sleep. You know what I just bought yesterday? Oh my god, you guys gotta see this, okay? The only correct way to watch a 10-minute video. Exactly. You guys want to see it? Hey, nice emote. Alright, so this is what I bought, okay? I bought Amazon.com. Wow. No, I bought a lock phone. I bought this. It's coming tomorrow. I literally bought this. Like, no joke. I saw it on Shark Tank years ago, too. Alright, for anyone wondering what it does. It burps. No, it makes your phone locked. Or you lock your stuff in it. Why did I never think of that before? So the reason I bought this, alright guys, the reason I bought this, oh my god, I was about to say that's tiny. The reason I bought this is that so I could put my phone inside, and then just, wait, you could break it? Wait, you could break it?
Monkey do good.
Thank you, Chi. Thank you. The reason I bought it is so I could edit and not get distracted. The problem is I'm just going to use my computer to distract myself. So I don't know how good of a buy that was. You should have one of your point rewards be the bottom effect. Yo, true. Why am I reading backwards? I'd recommend against drawing on your phone. It's hard to get that graphite off the screen. I get it. Because you're saying it's like a pencil. Alright, let's continue the video. You want me to add the bottom's voice right now? I could do it right now, guys. I'm that good at being a streamer that I could add things in, like, right now. I'm doing it. I'm adding it. Oh, I already have it. I already have it, guys. Guys, I already have it. So now I just gotta add it here. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but it's like 10,000 IQ type stuff. The title is gonna be Badumtsa. It's gonna cost 1. No, I'm joking. It's gonna cost more than 1. And let's see if this actually works. No way this works. No way! Alright, someone redeem it and see if it works. Isn't that cool? I'm so cool. Alright. 100 to 200 points. I made it 20. A lot of the sound effects... Yeah, there we go. Are we watching the entire 2-hour speedrun after this? Hell yeah! Wait, it's only 2 minutes. It's not 2 hours. What?
Skyblock is exactly like regular Skyblock. The only minor difference is
that
instead of carefully using your minimal items, you immediately get access to a separate multiplayer world with an infinite amount of every conceivable resource, and then you spend all your time in that world instead of the sky. But besides that, classic Skyblock. Oh, cool. I transferred my stats from real life.
Quietly working.
Hey!
Sorry, I'm trying to make this better.
Oh my god, no. No, the nuns, they've taken all the wheat.
There we go. I made it tighter. But that's what she said. Thanks for the lurk, Darkness. I appreciate it. Oh, phew. Yes! IQ back to 0. Did you already react to the first 2 videos I sent? I don't know. I'm reacting in the order of what you guys sent it to me. So that's how you could tell, pretty much. Let me just send in my 6-hour, 112% Hollow Knight run. Yeah, do it, bro. I'll definitely watch all 6 hours.
A famine. Wait, why
on 0.5 times speed.
No hunger in this game. Food literally does not matter.
Why does he sound so depressed?
A little pro tip here on how to be an expert at Skyblock. If you put your coins in the bank, you can get 2% interest.
Is that a thing?
At the end of every Minecraft season, which is a very useful unit of measurement because I know exactly how long a Minecraft season is in real life. But there's some more info here. A Minecraft season is 93
days. 2% interest. That sucks. That's better than America, like real life, though.
Cobblestone for me all day. I don't pay him. And
I thought that was a goat.
But Technoblade, doesn't that kind of sound like
hype dough?
Cobblestone. Okay, look.
Dismiss.
Nobody care about farming, fishing, or cutting down trees.
I love cutting down trees. You guys ever play RuneScape? That is the best game. Changed my mind. But don't change my mind because I really like it.
Let's go get some diamonds.
Isn't that cheating?
This is just a prison server. The blacksmith said he'd do me a favor and reforge
prison server.
For only 10 coal, and he put negative.
He's so. Why is he so? Oh my god, it's irritating. That's Technoblade? That's Technoblade?
I think Skyblock.
The famous Technoblade? Wait, is he always that? Is he? Does he always? Is he always? This is like. Oh my god. He sounds so monotone. How? I don't understand. Is that him? His voice? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then get up on the...
See, this guy sounds more interesting. Oh, that's Wilbur Suit. I don't know any of this stuff, guys.
Savior East.
He doesn't know what regular Minecraft...
There we go. There's emotion. He has no emotion in this video. I'm so confused.
Very cool. It's alright. As someone that went to college, I know that you can't lose.
As someone that went to college.
But you can go into debt. After an arduous 5 minutes of mining, I finally made it here.
Warp to deep caverns.
Challenge in mining. There's 6 floors.
Bro, I thought Hypixel was so different than this. I thought it was like a survival in the sky. What is all
floor
this?
containing more valuable ores than the last, but each floor is in turn guarded
I'm
by
so
even more
lost.
powerful monsters. But I mean, that's just some like blue zombie. I've got like full iron armor, so I don't see how
The blade has cancer.
They can shoot
The
lasers
blade?
out of their face. Thank you, iPixel. Finally.
What does that mean?
Pigman's den. At last, I have found my people. Pigman don't
The
attack
blade
humans,
has
we attack them
cancer?
first, so we should be safe to mine redstone.
Oh,
my God,
Technoblade?
why? What?
Technoblade has cancer? You're joking. Technoblade cancer. What the hell? I mean, what does that have to do with what I was talking about? That sucks, but like, oh, my energy levels were 0. Oh. Oh. Damn, that sucks. When was this?
Yo.
This is 2021 though. When did he get cancer? Why do I care? No, that sucks though. I don't know him like that though. 1 IQ minus. What did I say? It had nothing to do with what you were talking about. Oh, okay. All right.
What is that? Why does he have fire?
Oh, there's
magic?
3.5 minutes in, his voice got excited. It sucks that he has cancer. I said that before you were talking much? Oh, my bad.
Look, if I'm gonna get immediately obliterated by magic monsters, I ain't gonna die mining redstone. I'm gonna die mining diamonds. Let's go further. Don't mind me. I am a pig like you. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Nope.
I don't know. This is not.
I casted the magic. No, 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 no.
This is.
We're at the slime hill.
I can see why people like this type of content, but it's not. It's not my type of content.
Okay, I'm going the other way actually. Where's the stairs down? Ow. Come on, where the...
Oh, damn! This video is great. No way.
Yes.
Yes.
3 times as much defense.
3 times.
Go on any adventures.
Oh my god, that was crazy. That was a beautiful video. Okay, let's get to the next video. I've never played this game. What is this game? It's okay, guys. The person who requested that video isn't here, so I don't feel bad. Alright, what is this? I'm gonna get copyrighted for that. I've never even played this game. What is this? Freddy Fish 4? What about 1, 2, and 3? 911? What? Bro, I'm so confused at what I'm watching. It looks like...
You... Now that...
What the hell? Is this a kid's game? And why are we watching this? Oh, this is cashews. Oh, that's cool. I was so confused. Oh, snap. Wait, what the heck? Oh, this is cashew. Okay, that makes it a lot more interesting, to be honest. Am I subscribed to him? Let me change my my account real quick. I should be. I think I maybe subscribed to him. Hey, I actually remembered my password. Confirm whether you are it's you trying to sign in. Yes, it's me. Switch to existing Chrome profile. No, don't switch to it. Damn. Wait, let me take this link. I want to make sure I'm subscribed. The reason I'm not signed in is because I don't want you guys to see my my other information. I'm not. Oh, you ever have your like burning in your throat? That's what I have right now. Glorious Cashew Freddy Fish 4. Speed run. I wonder if he got a world record. It's such a random game. I can't find his channel. Oh my god, this is actually frustrating me. Whatever. I'll copy this later. I'll look at it up later. Yo, now that, yeah.
Looks good.
I don't know if I get copyrighted for this song. Well, let me just comment. Amazing stuff. I can't believe my eyes. It's all real. I would never lie. Okay, comment. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this game is. Video is unlisted. It's a link that on. Oh yeah, you're right. That's why I couldn't find it. I'm so dumb. Can you just click on link again after logging into your other account? Yeah, that's what I tried to do, but it's pretty much because it's. Wait, unlisted means if you have the link, you should be good though, right? I honestly don't know like the significance of this run. Because I don't know this game. Oh, I want to hear if he says something. And... What the hell? Yo, did you guys watch this show? I watched the first 2 seasons and then I stopped. When I was in Japan, I think. It's by the same creators of Avatar: Last Airbender. For anyone who was interested. The Dragon Prince. When you roll a natural 1 on stealth, but your ally rolls a natural 20 on deception. That's actually funny. D&D reference.
I am bringing hay to the horses. Very hungry horses.
See, that's a 1 on stealth. You're not very stealthy. Get it?
I'm sorry. Yelling at me. Oh, no, I'm not mad. See ya.
It had the same feeling as Atla? Really? Oh, you watched it? Yeah, I only watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Sorry, wait. The hay is glowing.
Yeah.
It's so low volume.
Yeah, it is.
The hay is glowing.
Nothing. It's pretty neat. Thanks, man.
It's pretty neat.
Hay's the best.
Hay's the best. True. Hay is the best. When you roll a natural 20 on your bluff check.
Frankly, it's atrocious. So no talking.
Augenblick, warten Sie. Aus Frankfurt. Sind Sie Frankfurter?
Ja, ein Hotdog.
What? What? I'm hot dog.
Das war ein komischer Kauz. Die spinnen die Amis. Hotdog. Die Welt wird wundern, wenn wir an der Macht sind.
What the hell is this? Do Americans... Oh, because the Germans say wiener? What's up, Dino? It looks good? Yeah, it's a cool show. Ping, come tomorrow at 11 and tell Jake. Then we're gonna go back to you. Okay. That was very random. Oh, Shakshuka, hey! Message Jake. Message the group chat. So I don't forget too, but... Yeah, that's my cousin. Welcome, Clan Ducks. Want to come over at 11, making shakshuka, and then we'll go to your house. Shlomi coming. That sounds good to me. No, Saturdays we react to videos that you guys sent me. Except no one sent me this one. I just clicked on it. Now a bunch of TikToks, and then it'll be free reign for you guys to send any videos you guys want. Hey, I'm gonna get copyrighted. Oh, never mind. Bro, I hate TikTok so much. This is why. You have a normal video of something that's funny or whatever. Then you have someone watching, reacting to it. Then you have someone else watching, reacting to it. Then you have me reacting to it. Like, I don't need these other 2 people. Yeah, I don't watch the videos you guys send until I'm done. So, Here, let me just here. So you send it on the Discord, and then I watch them all on Saturday, and then after I finish watching everything that people send on Discord, I like take from chat. Just do your part with a twist. True.
It seems I've accidentally done a flip. Can't wait to go to the. Oh shit, bitch! God damn it! Oh, did you see what happened? We gotta be careful. Oh shit!
Oh my god, that's so funny. I'm trying not to laugh, just like them. Ha 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 ha. Look at them. They're almost laughing, but I'm not like them. That was kind of funny. Look, it's literally like 1/15 of the screen.
If you get a divorce in Alabama, are you still brother and sister?
Alabama jokes. See, I'm like this guy. I'm a cool guy. I don't laugh. This guy's a loser. He laughed. He's not a Sigma male. They're clearly heroes. Only people that are dead inside won't laugh. I'm pretty dead inside, I think. I only laugh from like things like, I don't know, certain jokes.
Nothing we can do. Well, that sucks. Ah, God! Relax. There's no way this is the scariest thing you've ever seen. Yeah, I was attacked by that 80-year-old male nudist that one time. God, there was so much skin. Yeah.
That sounds pretty hot.
Kind of favor. Well, you're gonna
Oops, dropped my link.
Dude, I can't go back to your house. I mean,
That was funnier than all these videos combined, you know. Just kidding. Nice videos, guys.
in case you forgot, you're actually right here. Why does my face look like that? Gas? You know, come on, man. I need your help.
Sorry, I'm just gonna lower the background music a little bit.
Help. I don't know, man. What can you possibly want? I mean, you need me to bring someone a letter or
Possibly
something?
want.
Nope. Empty out a safe? Nope. Tell your wife you love her. No. What can you possibly need? I need you to go back to my house and clear my browser history.
Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. So funny. Okay, next video. The target audience is Nathan. That's so stupid. Okay, that one was funny. I have to mute half of them because they use freaking copyrighted music. They're all saying meow, bro.
Yo, nigga.
So dumb, bro. What is this? Oh my god.
Master has given Dobby a Glock. Dobby
What?
thug. Master has given Dobby.
I'm losing brain cells. 90k bet right now. I can't got that kind of guys. I don't know what you mean by funny. Oh, what the hell's this? You're a guy on December 1st. Oh. That's funny. That's funny. The funny thing is that's me every day, so that's okay. You see? Nothing wrong with being gay, bro. Nothing wrong. So dumb, bro. Oh my god, thank god. We're towards the end. What is this? Goodbye. Goodbye, Chi. It's understandable. We're almost done with the vid, so you guys could start sending, but who gave Dobby a Glock? Who wouldn't? I don't know. But oh my god, Instagram's even worse. There's no freaking volume control. It's so dumb. Bunnies flop over when they feel completely safe. Okay. Yo, what's up, Chris? How are you? And goodbye, Chi. I don't get it. Sea otters will often cover their eyes with their paws to help them sleep during the day. That's kind of cool. That's pretty smart.
Parking. Have a good, probably a week. I look forward to the next game you're playing.
Thanks. Oh yeah, you can't hear me, right? Arigato gozaimasu. All right.
No.
What the hell? This is a good one. All right, I'm gonna scroll up because I'm a nice person and watch the rest of the videos.
Is an in-game desktop app. Once the game starts, Professor scouts your opponents.
A mecha humanoid robot AI platform. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it on this account? Oh my god, bro. I have to change accounts. Alright, there we go. Wait. Oh, now it's not watching it. I'm so stupid. Professional. Oh no, it is. I will hydrate. Arigato gozaimasu. Oh, it's not showing. Oh my god, guys. It's so hard to be me. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. IQ Plus, I fixed it. Alright, Siuchi. I just have the sounds playing out the speakers. Arigato gozaimasu for me fixing it, right? Twitter. You're a dirty one, Mr. Grinch. What? How'd they know I'm dirty? Okay. Let's keep watching this. A mecha humanoid robot AI platform. Bro, how far is AI gonna go? Whoa! That's not real. That can't be real. That's like that's programmed, right? It is real? Looks like CGI, yeah. What the hell? It's not the smartest robot though. It's pretty stupid. It's programmed, yes. Well, yeah, it's programmed, but never mind. That's insane. What's strong with you? I don't know. My arms are strong. That's sick. This is not CGI. First look at a mecha. Most advanced humanoid robot. Jesus Christ. Daqui uns dias tamo fodido. I agree. It's pretty crazy stuff. Where was it? What is this?
Is there anyone that you've ever...
Oh my god. Why is that so loud?
Is there anyone that you've ever just felt...
I can't have copyrighted music.
Gather round. This is one for the aged.
I'll sing it for you guys. My heart aching. I'm shaking now. Don't be mistaken. The only green man for me. Don't give a heck about oh no. This is terrible. Don't give a heck about Shrek. That's one of the most messed up things you could say. It's not true AI. It's just the facial stuff. It's pretty crazy. It does look like CGI. Boku no Pokemon mite nai yo. Boku no Pokemon mite nai yo. It won't copyright. Unfollow. Hey. You can unfollow if you want. It will copyright, bro. If you guys have opioid addiction, then you're a loser. Just kidding. Okay. Oh my god. Is this Meat Canyon or whatever? Papa Meat. Yeah. Ugh. It's so nasty, bro. I hate Meat Canyon.
There you go. Push on through there.
I didn't finish the 10-minute video about Tekken. Meat Canyon is basically like... you'll see.
Reach down here and grab me. I'm the last one. I'm trying. I taste the best. Are you wearing your class ring? Yeah. Slip that thing off. Okay. It'll help you get deeper down in here. Okay.
I'm out. I sent another video. I'm sorry, Justin.
I taste so freaking good.
That lag is mad suggestive.
You're much better at this than you.
What lag?
Thank you. His chimp knuckles couldn't fit halfway in the can. Oh god. He never got to taste this. But you're doing great.
Oh god.
What in the world? I love the taste of my own dust. Put me down and let one of your brothers or sisters go get me. Okay. You were close. I'm sure you can get me tomorrow. Okay, Mr. Pringle.
That's Meat Canyon. I hate watching Meat Canyon. That one was good though. Meat Canyon is so nasty. Like the style is just so annoying to look at. Look at this. Oh god.
I thought to look.
It's just so annoying to look at. I hate it. Next yeah, so we ran out of videos, so I'll take videos from chat. You guys could send in chat and I'll click on it. Okay. Doctor, hell yeah. Sub 7. Hell yeah, bro. Wait, how's this sub 7? Oh. Bro. Do you guys remember when we did the 24-hour stream on this game? Jesus Christ, bro. I think I'm sub to your channel on my... On my thingy. You don't have enough R's in your name though here. Damn, how are you that fast, bro? For anyone who doesn't know, Jump King is an insanely hard game unless you're Doctor, in which case it's a very easy game. Doctor is making a Jump King map right now. It's pretty crazy. Doctor is God. True. Excuse me. Isn't this so satisfying to watch? Like, is he gonna fall? Is he not gonna fall? It's you again. Oh. Finally, I can... And then it goes away. He's so fast, he doesn't let the NPC talk. How close is... What place was this? In speedrunning. So cool. I kind of want to play this game. Play it, bro. It's fun. Well, it's very frustratingly fun. I don't know if I'll ever finish that. This is kind of a shitty run. I wish I would have kept going. I could have done so much better. That's what she said. Listen, you'll get another chance in the future, I'm sure. You just gotta believe in yourself. Believe it! That was originally 7th. It might be 8th or 9th now. I haven't checked. Check, bro. Check! If you want. Alright, guys. I could do this in less than a minute. Let's just fast forward here. I don't even know most of these maps. It's pretty crazy, though. Yo! Oh, no, wait. Isn't this like the original? Oh, no, it's different. Yo! I wish I could hear your voice when you beat it. GZ. What the hell does that mean? Isn't it easy? Or... Okay. Very nice. Thanks for the stall. Donkey Kong. Oh, video game Donkey.
Donkey Kong.
December.
Whoa. I swear I lose brain cells with you guys. Someone did a Jump King stream where every time they fell, they took a shot. Oh, send that one. That sounds funny. Donkey Kong. What? Who's that? Bro, I gotta mute videos with songs. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, it's Japan! Wait, that was... It says... Bye-bye. It says bye.
With his mouth shape. Donkey Kong December, Donkey Kong December, Donkey Kong December, Donkey Kong December.
Okay. We're gonna... oh, wrong button. We're gonna skip... We're gonna skip that one. Donkey Kong December. The protest. Oh my god, what's with the music? Lying down meme. Me and the boys wondering why there's so many speed bumps. Sheesh. That's deep. Don't fall asleep and miss. Yeah, this is the type of teacher I should have been. But instead I was a terrible one. I was a decent teacher. I got you. I'm just gonna open up the links for later.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, everybody. I just sent my map to one of the playtesters this morning because they were asking why I never sent it. I don't think it would be very fun for you, but if you ever want to play it, I can send what I got done. Sure. I would love to see it. Bro, I had a teacher like this. I know you guys don't care, but I had a teacher, or maybe you do. I had a teacher where anytime someone would sleep, she would come with the textbook, and she would go like this. She would go like this. She would go. And just right on the kid's desk, and just, oh my god, it was such a, it woke everyone up. It was such a loud sound. But laughing works too. So dumb. My Spanish teacher does that when the other tables talk too loud. Bro, they're gonna have nightmares for the rest of their lives. Broke a student's finger. Nice. You would just have to DM me if you wanted to. There's lots of steps to getting stuff. Oh, maybe in the future then. I do want to play it when you finish it for sure. At least, you know, to try it out. Imagine becoming a teacher after taking this guy's class and you do the same thing and you just pass it on. And then one of your students becomes the guy that goes to that movie theater and shoots everyone up and pretends to be Joker. And he's like, I learned the laugh from Mr. Helsley's class. He was pretending, bro. He just wanted attention. You don't want kids like that, bro. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, maybe he was sleeping, actually. She'll take me or my friend's large folders full of notes, goes to their table and slams it. Oh, that's great. I love that. Why are so many kids sleeping in this guy's class? That's the bigger question. Why does everyone sleep in his class though? Wow, it's just gonna get like 10,000 likes that comment. Okay, I get it. This is pretty much the same video over and over. Any videos that I can analyze, guys? Come on. What is this? We need some analyzation, life as your creation videos. Jesus, an hour and 6 minutes. Maybe the teacher needs to be more entertaining. Yes, with an E. True, though. I had one class. I only taught one class where kids would fall asleep a lot. But that was, I think, because the teacher was a bit boring. One of the kids would stay up all night every night and play Fortnite. That's why he was sleeping in class every day. Or he would come to school late because he was Fortniting. Yeah, good times, good times.
Like rusty spoons.
What the hell is this? What is this? What is this? The ad looks more interesting. Why do you guys like these disgusting looking things, bro? How do you like this?
In the oven that
Ugh.
you can
this just looks, I don't, bruh. What do you dream of? Jesus Christ. That's sorry, bro. We're gonna have to skip that one. Salad Fingers is a classic. Nah. Oh, by the way, I saw your Freddy Fish 4 speedrun. It was very wow. Analyze this video? Okay. From my 4th grade English history teacher, what she'll do is have all of us start clapping. They woke up fast and start clapping. That's actually good. That's funny. You know what I would do actually? If there was one kid sleeping, I would tell the whole class to quietly get up and leave the class. Like leave the classroom and see what and then just make a loud noise or something and see what how the kid reacts. That would be funny. Amazing, I know. I never played that game. I was like, what is this? Then I saw it was your your run, and I was like, ah, that's cool. Salad Fingers is so good, but Pink couldn't understand. I guess so. Oh my god. A bottle of soju. Hey, soju. Soju. I'm such a Jew. I'm so Jew. Alright, bro.
Soju. Take a sip. Chug it. Oh, this is fine.
Wait, how do we know that she's drinking? I don't know if she uses copyright-free music. How do we know? But it's on YouTube, so it should be fine, right? There's no way she's drinking it.
Take a sip for falling all the way to the bottom.
Why does it sound like a 5-year-old girl? Oh my god. I'm getting so triggered today. You need a Nani emote? I'll write it down. Nani emote. Hey, Jump King. Hey, my name is Ping Pong. She'll say every time she's drinking. Oh, okay. I thought every time she falls. Oh, wait, never mind. She is. But she could be lying. She could literally be... Look, guys. You understand this could literally be what she's doing, right? She could literally be doing this, okay? Why do you sound like a baby Joe? What? Yeah, she sounds like a baby Joe. Guys, I just took a shot. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh my god, I just took a shot, guys. Oh, that was crazy. Like, that's literally... She could be doing that. PP needs a horny emote. Yeah, I took note of that the other day. But trust me, from the bits I've seen, she's definitely drunk. Oh, okay. I'm not orgasming. I'm drinking water. Jesus. It's a trust system. Stop getting horny off. You guys are so weird. How did you know I was getting horny off? But she's taking... Soju is not that strong, but still, every time you fall, it's pretty crazy. Jump to the end. Exactly.
We're going there?
You're going there? Bro, I don't know if I'm making fun of her voice or if she's like... I don't know if she's actually like a person. Or is she like a 5-year-old streaming? Or she's using a voice changer. I can't tell.
No.
No! Like, no one talks like that, right? You're definitely making fun of her? Well, because she sounds like she's 5. And her name is Lol Nani. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, becomes a VTuber. So she wasn't always a VTuber, yeah? We have to figure this out. Sort by oldest. Nah, bro. She was always a VTuber. Lily Pichu sounds like that? Not that bad. I want to imagine that Cashew, you're funnier than all these videos we've watched so far. Even her first video, she doesn't have a face. Oh my god, that's cheating, bro. Lily Pichu, I did think of Lily Pichu when I started talking. Lily Pichu's voice is not that... It's similar to that, but yeah, it's not that bad. Look, she's crying like a baby. Oh, how does she sound in her first video? That's a good point. I don't even know if it's her first video or it's her... I'm gonna assume it's her first video that she... I'm assuming she privated all her other videos. But I have no idea, of course. Bro, she's been faking it since the beginning. Bro, no one sounds like that. You see? Look at this. Look at this weirdness, bro. No offense if some of you guys are like this. Legit, I want to cry. She's too cute. We don't deserve her. I died when she did this. Cuteness overload. Open up. It's the FBI. This is so precious because it was said adorably and is a good joke. Stop donating. Suffering from success. Anime voices with no voice changer. Me. Seems legit. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm new to his channel, so the results are that voice is killing me. Too cute. Bro, you guys are weirdos. But it's okay because it's the internet. Where'd the music go? Oh, it's just ending. Okay. I think she privated a lot of them. That's what I think. This is from 2018, this video. You're bullying a kid? Bro. Is it an actual kid? I don't... Look, if it's an actual kid, then whatever, okay? But if it's not an I can't wait for face reveal, someone said 2 years ago. She shouldn't do a face reveal. Why? Because if she reveals her yummalicious, cuticious face, we will all die. He is 4-year-old trap dumb ass. I think she's not a trap, but like think whatever you want to, I guess. I don't even think 4-year-olds can play games like this, but again, think what you want. This is definitely not her first video, because some people said, I love all your content. Anyway. Young delicious. She's not. PP be like that in 24 hours, Jump King. Yeah, I'll scream, but I won't be like, ah! Look, I don't scream like that. You're a true bully. This is why the hollow... Shut up, dude.
Shut the fuck up!
There you go. That sounded real.
Shut the fuck up!
What does it mean? I keep getting this advertisement. I don't know why the hell I keep getting it.
Stupid old man! It's like you're getting
I'm not moaning.
whenever you fall.
I'm not trying to. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. That was interesting. That was interesting. Okay, next video.
Sorry about that. But
what?
I mean, since you're here already, why don't I tell you the story of a man called Bill Cheatler? The year is 1983. Michael Jackson's Thriller is tearing up the charts. The new family computer Famicom is released in Japan, and somewhere in Westfield, Missouri,
what?
Nobody would eat. I mean, these chips called smoking honey barbecue.
Bro, we're not watching podcasts.
The planet's resources into this stupid fucking making Cheetos, Grilbo. Making Cheetos.
If I made a video like this, it wouldn't get 36,000 views. But I'm also not Video Game Donkey. Amazing content. Loved the visuals. Anyway, I'm not trying to moan. I'm sorry. How's it a kid and able to drink? True. Good point. You shouldn't make a video like this. I know it would blow up, right? What is this? Didn't we watch this? Yeah, we watched this. We watched this. You send this like every week. It does look pretty amazing though. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, bro. Anime is so sexy, guys. If you haven't watched anime, then it's fine. Because like your whole life doesn't need to be like that. Donkey Kong December. But don't talk in it. Wow, Cashew, you're so original. Wow. Wow. I should make a new alert. I'm gonna make a new thingy. Wow, but it zooms into my face, like back and forth. Oh my god, I'm such a genius sometimes. I have so many ideas for Twitch, but I don't do them because I have to edit. Or I do them, but then like, I can't edit as much. Oh, someone's tired. Okay, I get it, Gino. Oh my god. Any other videos, guys? Any good videos? Wait, what was that advertisement? Was that for like a manhwa?
Bill felt he could trust Dylan and let him out of his prison. Thank you, Great Warrior. Dylan Kane closed his eyes. Ah, shit, Galactus is...
Bro, I can't. This is way too long without anything. Revolutionary Donkey is the only one who can achieve this level of genius. You know, I know some of these comments are sarcasm, but I just don't. He truly created a work of art. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Where'd the comments go? What the hell? Give me my comments. What? If you zoom in too much on YouTube, it takes away your comments? Hey, Cortez, what's up? You know, we had Cortez on our Pokemon. How you doing? I feel like it's been so long. Should make a reward where we can make PP's mic mute. Yeah, let's not do that. You haven't seen it. How could you understand or listened? Because it's blank. He created a work of art. The imagery here is astonishing. Highest quality video. He's so brave. Okay, they're all just sarcasm, but... What if I put sarcasm on top of sarcasm? Oh my god. Not funny. Didn't laugh. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, this video gets 1,000,000.7k views. 1.7 million views. But if you search up Ping Pong Moosters, you know, I mean, it's fine. My content isn't that good. Or I agree with Nathan. How long would the mute last? DK Rap isn't copyrighted? How do you know that? What? Action Button Reviews. Tokimeki Memorial. Let's read it. Bonki. Mada chika wa kite inai yoda na. This is in the year 95, September 10th, year 95, Sunday. They're at the movie theater. You looked it up? Oh, okay. 30 seconds or 20 seconds? Ugh, I don't know if I want to give you guys that much control, but maybe. You should play this game on stream? Alright, maybe. How is a review 5 hours? 6 hours?
ごめんね。
ごめんね。
準備に時間がかかっ
準備に時間がかかっちゃって。Yeah. Wait, she didn't say yeah. Oh, that's the main character. Yeah. 今回 What does that say? 嫌いだと Okay, I'm not sure what that's. こんらいだとこだから気にしなくていいよ。10円時間よ。早く中に入りましょう。早く中に入りましょう。Oh, 中に入りましょう。Right, right. Let's go in there fast. The movie started. Or something. そうだね。早く入ろう。You're right. Let's go in fast. あそこは空いているわ。Oh, it's pretty empty over there. Let's go sit there. 座りましょう。Guys, I'm the translator. Don't worry. What? フォレスとガップは人間のひたむきさを捉えたラブロマンスだ。Oh, it's a love romance movie. Ooh. I hear this game would be good for learning basic Japanese. Yeah, I think so. Cortez, is this game bad? Japanese used in daily life? Yeah, probably. This is some great quality too. What? Nani sore?
Hello, and welcome back to Video Games. I'm
Wait,
Tim Rogers.
what?
You are watching the Action Review.
You heard that? Listen. I don't know why I'm making fun of so many people today. Listen, 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 listen. Listen real careful.
I'm Tim Rogers. You are
you
watching the Action Button review of Tokimeki Memorial.
Tokimeki
A video game whose title we can translate as
I got you. Tokimeki Memorial. It's memorial. Tokimeki? I don't know what meki means, but time something memorial?
Heartbeat Memorial.
Heartbeat.
Heartthrob Memorial. Developed by Konami Computer Entertainment and published for the Nippon Electric Company PC on May.
I just wanted to see the game. There we go. Yeah, I lived in Japan for 2 years, guys. Just in case anyone didn't know. Maybe I should make an emote on that too. I've lived in Japan for 2 years. Omega low. Then we'll watch your video soon, Prince. Use this to block all ads. Isn't that ironic? Kyokara. Gakuhoko? I don't remember. Are? そういえば行き先はどこだったっけ?
Where is the class trip again? And I had
That's exactly what I said.
I didn't know if this was a quiz.
No.
Or
Hokkaido. It says Hokkaido. The last one says Hokkaido.
Clever narrative design. I said Kyoto. It was Kyoto. Either it was Echo met me in the hotel.
Ooh, she's cute. He lived in Japan for 10 years. All right, well, I'm not him, okay? I'm cooler. Look at him. Look. He doesn't even have any subscribers. I'm ahead of him in life. Come on, guys. Let's go back to Japan. Nah. Unless we stream in Japan, then I'm down. 9/11? That's not a good one. Wednesday, 9/11.
Hotel lobby. I'd been hoping for Shiori. I mean, I didn't know anybody was going to meet me in the hotel lobby.
Yo, his camera quality is so good. What the hell?
As soon as I saw Ayako, I retroactively hoped it was Shiori. In a market.
Shiori.
Okay, いいわよ。入りましょう。あれは
Final Fantasy duel.
That's probably how she talks. What the hell is this game? What? What the hell am I watching?
EA's American producers.
Wait, I want to see more gameplay.
Stop saying yes.
Oh, do you get her? Did you try to like date her?
On March 21st as well, right?
And then she dies?
School.
Does she die?
School. Some 1995.
Damn, they're so cute, bro. I'm just joking. It was a joke. It's okay, I could say that. This is 1996. I could say that.
Hypothetical friends ended up putting in the work to get
Wait, should I make it more I got you guys. I'll make it more interactive, okay? There we go.
Equally enormous alongside masterpieces such as
I have to be the girl. Where's the girl? Oh my god, bro.
So anyway.
Hey, Nico.
is just one. It's going to be
oh my god. Oh, that's the guy. Oh my god, I want to hear the girl. Where's the girl? Give me the girl. Let me get the girl. I put this wig on. Bro, are you serious? Oh, there we are. Okay. Now he's talking. Sayonara. Woo! Look how she's dressed, guys. Hell yeah. Anyway, that was a great video. Let's check out the next one. Good morning. Skip. He talks about how it's so stupidly difficult hard redhead is to get. At the end of the year, someone reveals their love for you. Oh, okay. I just bit through a jawbreaker. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but if it is, I hope you feel better. Got a peer-reviewed study.
Got a peer-reviewed study right here that says... says you're a pussy.
That was kind of... That kind of hurt my feelings.
Hello there.
Let's watch the next video. Hey, Pigeons! Long time no see. How are ya? I'm doing good, Nico. How are you doing? I didn't skip your video. Did I? I might have skipped it by accident. What video? Oh, I did skip your video. Okay. I'm sorry. That would be 20 times better if I didn't read the title. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, how do you put emotes? Monkey do very good. Oh. Let's go. Finally, a good video. Bro, this actually hurts to watch, bro. Spoiler alerts, Naruto. Sorry. Alright, see you, Cortez. You just wanted me to see. Fair enough. This is so deep. Just like me and my... Never mind. What? That's not what she said. That's not what she said. I don't think that's a... What? He said, Itachi, don't lose this match. Tosa, Kasa. Wait, why are they in heaven?
一族の会合があることは知っているな。会合の後、いいな。
Can he beat them all up anyway? Bro, he could beat them all up. Oh no, he lost one of his eyes, right? Oh, this is cringe now. That's not what they're saying. This is illegal.
申し訳ありません。申し訳ありません。もう我慢できません。
我慢できません。威勢の良い声を上げ。だがまさかとは思うが。
That's funny.
まさかとは思うが、戦術以外は聞かぬとはおらぬだろうな。
You guys need to understand Naruto to really soak this one in.
四代目や里の皆の尽力。
He didn't even say, he said Yondaime. He said the fourth Hokage.
まぶたに映る二人の仲良き姿。
昨日の会合に出なかったやつが
昨日は二人いる。Ooh, that's Dinel.
今こそ必要なほかげとはこの最悪の事態の後始末をし
This guy literally he literally just took random clips from the show and then put his own subtitles over it. Actually genius. Actually genius. Actually great. Ew, rap music. Just kidding.
In like
Creating
2017, and fair
Epic.
warning, it is a very silly idea. So the idea is that it's like the Poke Rap, but with
Tokipona.
instead of Pokemon.
What's
You know,
Tokipona?
the Toki Rap. And
What is
there's a
that?
very good chance that you're unfamiliar
Toki means time.
with at least one of those things. Please bear with me. The Poke
True.
Rap is a song created for the 4Kids.
Yes, we
dub
all
of
know the
Pokemon
Poke
anime,
Rap.
with lyrics that are, for the most part, just a list of every single first-generation Pokemon. And Tokipona is
Excuse
a
me.
minimalist constructed language that I've talked about quite a lot on this channel.
Wow,
I'm making
that's
this video
cool.
as part of a celebration of the 20-year anniversary of when Tokipona was first published online, which was on August 8th, 2001. I figured that this is the perfect opportunity to finally do something with this very silly idea that I've been sitting on for so many years. I don't want to just show the song, though.
It's
I
like
also want to
diarrhea.
present my process in writing it, as an homage to a certain row of a consonant inventory table. First of all, why? Why would you want to make a parody of the Poke Rap where instead of listing Pokemon, it's listing
Tatsumi.
words in a constructed language? Well, the main reason is that the names sound vaguely similar, so it makes for a good pun. The secondary reason is that listing
I want to hear the rap.
and song size the PokeRap for its education into something that actually is.
Is this on the JET program?
Just happens to be a good way to memorize things in general.
Did this guy go to Japan? That looks like the JET program, like Tokyo or something.
Well,
I don't know if I'm just seeing things. Jesus, these thumbnails are amazing. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's not Japanese. Maybe I'm wrong.
Criticized the PokeRap for its educational rap flow, saying that it sounds more like an educational song than actual rap. So why not repurpose it into something that actually is educational? The PokeRap could, in theory, be helpful for people who want to memorize Tokipona's vocabulary. I am not the first to do something like this for Tokipona. Kalamanimi Tokipona is a song inspired
Kalamanimi mi papa
by
Toka.
Tom Lehrer's
So
Elements,
true.
listing Tokipona words to the tune of modern Nature General. I went out of my way to make sure this PokeRap is sufficiently different from Kalamanimi Tokipona, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't heard it before.
I checked it out.
Let's get into the process. The first problem to deal with is the question of exactly what words to include. Well, this would have been a bigger question if I were doing this at pretty much any point in the past. Like, there's the 120 canon Nimi Poo.
Alright, bro.
Poo.
Nimi
I'll be
Poo.
using the 130 problem.
Alright, bro.
The general
Alright,
flow of
alright.
it only really do that if the number of things.
Oh, we're gonna sing it.
Pairs of lines that have 4 Pokemon each, and you can only really do
perfect
that if the
Pokemon
number
rap?
of
I
things
don't
you're
know.
listing is a multiple of 8. That's why the PokeRap ends awkwardly with "That's all, folks," because
Sand/Ship my leaf Psyduck, Arcanine, Eevee, Exeter, Capitap, Septos, Graveler, Voltorb, Gloom, we're almost home. Wait, what? Ammonite, Slowpoke, Pidgeot, Arbok, that's all, folks.
because the 150 Pokemon included is 2 fewer than a multiple of 8. 137 is going to cause the opposite problem. It's exactly 1 more than a multiple of 8. To solve this, one line somewhere in the song is going to need to have 1 extra word compared to all the others. Fortunately,
that's kind of cool.
Tokipona has a lot of single-syllable words, so it shouldn't be...
Okay, I want to hear it.
Tokipona has more than enough rhyming pairs for this to work, so this should be easy, right? So
Let's
easy
go.
that I was able to write up a program to randomly generate TokiRap lyrics. Well, I don't want the order to
Kipsy-Pakala.
literally just be random. Ideally, the lyrics should
Gotta
actually
catch
be
'em all.
like if someone hypothetically were to decide to memorize this song to help them remember.
How are you doing, Pigeons? Do you still... What games do you play nowadays? Do you still play Fall Guys? I see sometimes your stream also.
Tokipona vocabulary, it would be helpful for them
I
if the
think.
words were in a
Have you been
that
streaming?
actually made sense. So that's one
that might have been
example that makes it a
Pigeon.
little harder. The other is that I want it to like sound decent. I am absolutely not a rapper.
Is that
and
guy?
This is an
I'm a
educational
rapper.
song pair.
I'm a
One major
rapper.
one with Tan just now a lot of Tan precedent
bro.
for. I'm now ready to actually turn this list of words.
Let's
into
go.
the My first idea was to organize the lyrics phonetically. Pretty well
Okay.
for that song. It's not exactly grouped together. This is what Kalamanimi Pitokipona does.
Yo, Kalamanimi Pipotokipona. Say that 10 times straight.
And it worked pretty well for that song. It's not exactly the same, though. Kalamanimi Pitokipona's lyrics
Kalamanimi
but what I did was
Pitokipona.
organize words by their rhymes, which is the opposite of alliteration.
we're gonna wrap
Although
this.
one thing I did
Hell
just
yeah.
copy directly from Kalamanimi Pitokipona was having the very last word be Kieta Santakalu. It really
Oh,
just doesn't
Kieta
fit anywhere else.
Santakalu. Yeah,
Anyway,
that doesn't
these
really
lyrics
fit.
Kinda work, and if I
Bro, they're making fun of Japan. I don't know if you guys could see it, but it says Epic. It's kind of racist.
were actually a rapper, I'd probably be able to make them sound good, but there's still some things that I'm not happy with. There's a lot of parts in here where there's 3 1-syllable spread out more.
Bro, I get it. I want to hear the rap.
The words. And like I
don't know why I'm so irritated today.
Could go through and manually reach this because everything sort of.
I'm not gonna remember any of
adjusted
this
its list of
information. I'm
Pokemon
sorry.
by chanting the tagline "Gotta catch 'em all" at various points throughout the song.
we got
Like,
this, we
That's
got
why
this.
we're listing all of these Pokemon.
Gotta catch
because
'em,
These are
gotta
the
catch 'em
that
all.
you gotta catch. Some sort
Gotta
of,
catch 'em
well,
all.
the actual answering up with some which is itself into a lot of dorky idea. If the verses are themselves consider making this, however, there is.
Oh my
and
god,
rap
bro.
over work.
Jesus
Also, it would
Christ.
be nice to have a
He's writing an essay in YouTube form.
dedicated to do the actual mix. This is a
The rap isn't in this. Why would you talk about creating a perfect rap and not have that rap in the video? Oh my god, bro.
Find out what's wrong with you with Daily Readiness.
Oh my god. I apologize.
Make college easier because students have a lot.
Okay. Hey! This is what I want to hear.
Toki, Nila Mitoki Musi e Nini Ale Pitoki Pona. Sina King.
Yo, let's go.
Mio open.
Mio open. Mio open. Johnny Win. I feel like it's gonna sound cringe if I try to copy him. That sounds like the donkey song. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, but it was a bit too interesting, bro. I don't want to go back to school right now, Dino. I'm such an asshole today. Oh my god, bro. Nope. Are you gonna finish that croissant?
Welcome to McDonald's. May I have your order?
Hey, yeah, I'll take one McRib sandwich.
I'm sorry, Dino. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was interesting. It was an interesting video. It was interesting. I'm sorry. Goodbye, Dino. I'm sorry. I feel bad now.
I'm sorry. The McRib is not good.
Oh, he said I'm sorry.
All right, it's back for a limited time.
Wow, that's some good timing on my part, huh? All right, so I'll take one
God,
McRib.
why do I keep getting these advertisements? It's not like I want. Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. You took too long. It's gone again.
What?
Oh, it's back. No, it's gone. Back. Gone. Back. Ooh, still back. Gone forever. Psych. Now it's back forever. Just kidding.
This is what you want.
I mean,
10
back.
minutes
It's
of
gone.
silence.
It's back. Hello? 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 He's gone forever.
Matt Donalds. I don't know if I get copyrighted for that.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's always there for you, unlike the McRib. Yeah, it's about that time, friends. Everyone's favorite barbecue.
What is the
sandwich with a
McRib? What is this? Oh, he's saying what it
boneless
is.
restructured pork patty pressed into the shape of a miniature rack of ribs is back. Again.
Pork.
Nope, you're not experiencing
Ew.
the McRib's been appearing and disappearing from the
Do you guys
McDonald's
like
US
pork?
menu on a regular basis for over 30 years. It's basically a tradition at this point. Now, personally, I believe that there are two types of people in this world. Those who are happy to see the McRib return, and those with taste buds. Now, obviously, I'm just joking. Let's be honest, I eat a lot of fast food. McRib, not really one of my
I know
favorites,
that
but I
one.
totally understand why there are plenty of fans of the sandwich. And every time the McRib returns, they celebrate all across social media. As McDonald's senior archives manager Mike Bullington puts it, quote, "There's no denying that the McRib is one of the most iconic sandwiches of the last 4 decades."
What the heck?
Thousands of emails and tweets.
There's no way this guy said that. That's such a weird thing to say. Yo, McDonald's, one of our sandwiches is just like the most iconic of any sandwich, bro, of the last 4 freaking decades. Like, who says that? If you're gonna eat ribs, then just eat ribs. Yes, let's go.
From fans to
Let's
prove
change
it.
society,
So I wonder,
Cashew.
if the McRib actually is as beloved as they say, then why isn't the sandwich widely available year-round? Does McDonald's prefer to only make its customers
This is
happy
Mad
some
Pat?
of the time? Does the restaurant only like making money
I don't know,
some
Mad
of the
Pat.
time? It's not as though the sandwich is themed around any sort of holiday or time of year, so what is McDonald's angle with this thing? Is this a case
Bro,
where
I could
restaurants
get
reluctantly
copyrighted,
giving the fans what they want, even though the sandwich doesn't make it much money? Or does the sandwich actually make the restaurant a lot of money and McDonald's is cleverly tricking its customers into
Let's
gobbling up
guess
a
why.
very
My guess is gonna be that basically the McRib is the pigs are only in season during certain times of the year, and that's why it's not around all year round.
expensive
You're not
meat
new.
patty. A bunch of theories have sprung up about the
He's
old
a
McRib over the
theorist?
years.
Oh.
More theories than any non-permanent fast food
What's a
menu
knuckle
item should have,
sandwich with your like
probably. And
this?
So today,
Knuckle sandwich?
I'm Matt Pat will take the occasion to review those theories, yo. That's right, friends. It's a McMorty.
Leave your theories in the comments.
That's from PewDiePie. Oh no, PewDiePie stole it from someone else. I don't remember from who though.
So the first theory about the McRib, and the one that I've heard regurgitated
Okay.
the most over the years, is that McDonald's brings
Audition
the
for
McRib back
Hairspray?
whenever pork
You guys know
prices
so many
drop, and
YouTubers.
This allows them to make a higher profit margin on the sandwich. And when we look
See, that makes sense.
chart of lean hog prices over the past couple of decades, the big nationwide and international McRib rollouts do seem to coincide with dips in pork price. But would this be intentional or coincidental? Is
That
there
makes
any way that
sense.
McDonald's could reliably predict a downward swing in the price of pork months ahead of time? Because take it from me, the guy who just rolled rolled out an entire line of Theoryware merch for the holidays, it takes a lot of effort.
Bro, it's easy. Watch. What time of year do people eat pork? Apparently people eat pork on New Year's. That didn't really answer anything.
Planning to get a product rolled out. How would McDonald's know months ahead of time?
Jack's Film. Yeah. Jack's Films. Yes. That's what it was. Gotta smile for the picture. Yeah, I like this video so far.
Prices are gonna drop. This year, for instance, we know for a fact McDonald's
I'm out of frame.
First nailed down as the McRib's return date about 3 months in advance. If McDonald's does have a way of predicting the price action of pork, they're able to see it way ahead of time. So let's pull that chart back up and see if there are any patterns. Not seeing anything.
I like
in
the
1 year
background
charts.
music.
What about 5 years, 10 years? Sure enough, the further out we pull, the clearer the trend becomes. The price of pork is cyclical, and it almost always spikes in late spring and takes a nosedive in late fall or early winter. And wouldn't you know it, McDonald's generally brings the McRib back in October or November.
That's so cool, bro. That is so cool. So that's like good like research, right? For McDonald's employees to do or whatever. So they know the best time to sell it because it's cheaper. That's so smart.
Here on November 1st. So to me, this means it has to be an intentional choice on McDonald's part. Because despite what they would have you believe, there's no other reason why quote-unquote McRib season should be in late autumn. I mean, come on. The McRib was intended to capture the essence and flavors of South Carolina pulled pork barbecue. Yep, I was surprised by that factoid. It doesn't taste anything like that. But anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to eat barbecue any time of the year. But you cannot tell me that summer isn't barbecue season, McDonald's. You're not gaslighting me like that. So McDonald's is trying to make the McRib in cold weather months because pork generally costs less during that time of year, which, gotta admit, was a bit surprising to me because all the big ham holidays like Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving all happen during the half of the year.
Maybe it has to do with raising pigs. Do pigs need to be outside? And winter, it's not good for them because it's cold?
When prices are generally lower, but why would the price of lean hogs go down during the months when pig meat is on the menu in such a major way? That seems to defy supply and demand, doesn't it? Well, to understand this phenomenon, we need to discuss pig cuts for a moment. Ham comes from the upper leg of the pig and is then...
Oh my god. There's a restaurant in Manhattan, in New York, where, well, they have this exact picture. And it's pretty much all you can eat pork, different types of the pig, like this, and it shows this picture as like the main thing. And I'm like, and my friends went there with me. They wanted to go, and I was like, bruh, I think I ate like a Caesar salad.
Cured. Thanks to a lot of holiday traditions, ham is in high demand during the cold winter months. All the rest of the pig, though, not so much. But it's not as though only a fraction of the pig can be slaughtered at once. So basically, in order to keep up with the demand for holiday ham, a lot of pigs start getting butchered in the fall.
Damn!
Ham cuts get
the way he showed that was funny.
But the rest of the pig that isn't as high in demand generally migrates into cold storage during these months, where it stays frozen until interest in non-ham pork cuts pick up again. And wouldn't you know it, the McRib's pork patties are made entirely from these other non-ham pork cuts. According to McDonald's, the McRib patty is primarily shoulder meat. Yeah, sorry to break it to you, the McRib isn't actually the meat from the ribs of the pig. But what was McDonald's supposed to do? Call it the McShoulder? They can't.
Why can't they call it the McShoulder?
Because I copyrighted the McShoulder a long time ago for when I finally make it into the WWE. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this theory as certified true, but with a small caveat. McDonald's isn't reacting to the price of pork. They're actually predicting price dips based on well-established cyclical price patterns. So here's a hot tip. If you're a fan of the McRib and want...
It's still... well, we're only halfway into this, but he still hasn't explained why, which I'm assuming he's going to get to. Why the McRib is cheaper, or why it's cyclical, right?
To know when it's going to be available next. You don't have to rely on the McRib locator. You just pull up some historic pork price charts and you should have your answer months ahead of time. But you see, that doesn't tell us the whole story. There's more going on here, but to understand why, we have to look at the next theory. This one says that the McRib is a loss leader. Now, loss leading is a strategy where a product gets sold at a low price that's not profitable, with the hope...
Well, let me guess. This sounds like something I learned in school, actually. But I knew before, just on my own research, I guess. There's another word for this aside from loss leading. I forgot the word, but you basically have something cheap to reel, like bait and switch. No, that's not bait and switch. Maybe no. Like you reel people in with something. So you're like, bro, we're selling phones for only $100, and then people are like, oh, wow, and you press the wow button, and they're like, wow, and then you basically you want them to buy the phone, but you also want them to buy accessories like AirPods and other stuff, so that they make money at the end of the day by making you buy all the accessories for the phone.
That it entices customers to buy other products that are profitable. Well,
I'm so smart, guys. I'm such a genius sometimes. Oh my god, honey, Mr. Beast.
The loss leader is Costco's rotisserie chicken, which is used to increase foot traffic.
Costco probably does that for a lot of items.
Deeper into the store. While the company's actual losses from rotisserie chicken are unknown, Costco's CFO has stated that they're willing to lose $30 to $40 million per year in order to keep that chicken at its low price of $4.99. It is that effective at getting people to spend money in the store. So the theory here is that the McRib isn't actually a permanent item on McDonald's menu because it actually costs more to produce than its menu price. However, by bringing it back once every year or so, McDonald's is able to reinvigorate a wave of customers to purchase other higher margin items like French fries and fountain drinks. See also our episode on fast food soft drinks where we talked about
I wonder what the average, like if you go to McDonald's, what's the average like amount you're gonna order? Average order at McDonald's, right? Because you're probably not just gonna get one burger. What does the average person spend on McDonald's? They actually have info on this. Damn, it's kind of cool. Pizza Hut customers spend an average of $4 less than Domino's or Papa John's. They have slightly smaller order sizes and go to a restaurant less frequently. Interesting. All of them advertise quite a lot, probably too. But what is that? Am I looking for Pizza Hut? Most people who go to McDonald's return to McDonald's because come on, bro, McDonald's is good. McDonald's customers fork up $26 per month. Oh, average order size is slightly lower than Burger King and Wendy's nuts, but the average trip frequency is 3.1. Jesus, people go to McDonald's 3 times a month, like 2 times more, or like, you know, a lot more than other places that are similar. That's so interesting. Still not really. Well, I guess the answer was here, right? $26 per month. If you go 3 times per month and you spend 26 a month, 26 divided by 3. Quick math. 26 divided by 3. 8 points. So people spend like $9. $9 every time they go to McDonald's. Yeah, so you're definitely not getting just a burger. Oh, wrong video.
The markup on sodas being north of 1,000%. Now, it makes a lot of sense why people believe the McRib is a loss leader. In my area, the McRib costs 12% less than a Big Mac, but it has 57% more meat on the sandwich by weight. The fact of the matter, though, is that we're not going to be able to confirm whether or not the McRib is a loss leader. In order to know that, we need to know the cost of everything that goes into the McRib. The cost of the ingredients, the cost of producing and shipping the sandwich components to restaurants, the cost of labor to assemble the sandwich, the cost of marketing.
I mean, do you guys find it interesting? That's the thing that's a bit tricky about watching videos. It's like, I'm hoping you guys find it interesting with me, you know? Along as I do.
To consumers, and none of that info is available to us. McDonald's alone knows the truth, but that doesn't mean that we can't still run some back-of-the-napkin math on it based on what we do know and see what we learn. According to the USDA, the current retail price for ground beef, which is used in McDonald's hamburger patties, is $4.719 per pound here in the United States.
I don't know if he's going to talk about this, but like the amount that it costs is probably going to be much cheaper for McDonald's or any big like retailers or wholesalers or whatever, because they're going to buy in bulk, right? Like if you go and you buy this, it'll cost $4.7. But if a company buys it, they're going to buy like many pounds of ground beef, so they're going to get it at a cheaper price.
Boneless chicken breasts, which are used in McDonald's chicken
I like when you said
sandwiches,
these nuts.
is $3.589.
You watch him
All of
weekly?
their
Cool.
pork cuts, which comprise the McRib patty,
Gotta
are going
jump,
for
bro.
$3.565 per pound. After weighing patties from several top-selling McDonald's sandwiches, and after accounting for the fact that the meat and poultry experience a 25% loss of mass when cooked, I determined that the meat on a Big Mac retails for 87.8 cents, which is 18% of the burger's retail price here in Raleigh. The chicken breast on the crispy chicken sandwich retails for 56.7
Damn.
cents, accounting for 15%.
Wait, what
of
the
that
hell?
sandwich's overall
I love the crispy chicken sandwich. That's like one of the only things I order at McDonald's.
price. Retails for 50% of the burger's retail price. Cents, accounting for 15%
Why is it
of
so
that
expensive?
sandwich's overall price. Meanwhile, the meat in the truly massive McRib patty retails for just over $1.04.
Jesus.
A whopping
That's expensive.
24.3% of the McRib sticker price. Now that alone
Whalard
isn't enough
should be
info
able to
say
jump,
with
yeah.
certainty that McDonald's is losing money every time they sell a McRib, but it sure seems like their profit margin is slimmer than with
I can tell you guys are enjoying the video when you're trying to jump the whole time.
most sandwiches. And that's not even taking into account the fact that the McRib is a very inefficient sandwich for the restaurant. It requires a special press griddle to prepare it and give it its rib-like shape. Its elongated bun isn't used on other sandwiches like the Big Mac's buns are. Even the onions on the McRib
Trying to
are
find the best
different than
position
the
for
diced
this.
onions that are served with the burgers. So yeah, it's not exactly the level of efficiency that the
Hmm.
McDonald's brothers sought to achieve with their speedy service system back in the day. In the
I
end,
remember-
I'm gonna stamp this
I did a project on McDonald's when I was a kid.
theory as certified plausible. If McDonald's would like to open up its books and remove all doubt, they know where to find me, but yeah, all the evidence again points to this being a loss leader. Which brings us finally to the third theory as to why the McRib's availability is so hit or miss. The McRib isn't actually popular. Oh man, can't believe I just said that out loud. Hashtag McRib groupies are probably out there coming for me, assuming that they're real and not some bot accounts run by McDonald's, that is. See, in 1981, it wasn't a seasonal cold weather sandwich. There was no McRib season. It was introduced because there was a chicken shortage, and McDonald's needed another meat on the menu to help smooth over any
Interesting.
chicken nugget shortages that might arise.
So people like chicken more than pork, maybe? I did a project on Charles Darwin. He married his cousin. It's pretty hot. First cousin? How does Whaler look when it jumps? I didn't see it.
More and more US restaurants over the next several years. The company claimed that it was confident that the McRib would make it, only to pull the plug on the sandwich in 1985. So it would seem that the public's just not that into you, McRib. You had your shot to become the next chicken McNugget, but you just couldn't kill the king. End of story,
think
right?
so.
Wrong. McDonald's
It's
then brought
pretty
the
cool.
McRib back a decade later, and the sandwich made it until 2005.
I have a relative who married someone whose parents are first cousins.
With recurring availability. But by November, they'd announced the McRib farewell tour, and the McRib was on life support yet again. Did it die? No. A petition to save. Since then, the
I don't really care about the McRib anymore. He goes so in depth into this stuff. Kind of interesting though.
Swift here for fuck tape. It's perfect for sex. That's a tight, but flex tape cuts super wide. Yeah, have it a little more.
Flex tape is so popular. Look what happened when I started the video. Look what it said. It doesn't say it now. It said like, oh, this might not be appropriate for some audiences or something. That makes sense actually. That Charles Darwin married his cousin.
It's her. The pussy.
What
Leaky
the hell?
pipes can cause safety damage, but flex tape ties on tight and bonds tight. Plus, Phil Swift is so powerful.
This is edited well.
It even work underwater. Now you can slow cracks. Oh, fuck tape is perfect for draining large holes.
Nice.
Campers and campers and campers and campers. For fuck's sake. Pussy is so strong, and once it's on, it's on.
Oh snap.
Big storms, big. But fuck tape
What?
with a chainsaw, so you can even cut giant holes. Just fucking filthy. Now you
No,
can
watch out.
slow up your
Oh.
axe. Just fucking kill me.
I lost so many brain cells today. That was cool, the one where he... I hate campers? Yeah. Oh, the chicken shortage? Yeah.
I saw mine. Boner.
Why my IQ go down?
It's completely dry. But that's okay. Flex Seal's gonna pound it. Just stick it up the pussy.
I'm gonna let you hear from real customers just like you. And if these people can convince you,
Why does his voice change?
then nobody
Oh. We all lose brain cells. Oh, Ninja. Doesn't even know it's going down. What? What's going down?
What are you fucking kidding me? This is an awful product. What a waste of money. Fuck tape. More like shit tape. I would rather burn my money than buy it.
Imagine everything you can do with the PS.
What?
Woo, that was a lot of fucking
This is so
gold.
dumb.
Let's take a leak.
Why it's going down.
Help, please.
Bro, IQ minus to yeah, don't do drugs. IQ minus to you, okay? Cashew.
All you need to do is just spray
You
it
misread.
nice. Each time you do it, let it dry. Once it's dry, let it dry. And as you do it, it'll dry. That was a lot of fun again. If you test it and there's still a little leak, you may need to let it dry.
Let it dry.
That's a lot of damage. I hate chainsaw. Let it dry.
I'm sorry. I forget this is gonna be the last few. I'm losing brain cells. Huh. Okay, this one's shorter, so we'll do this one, then we'll watch the food theory thing. Ping pong, I'm coming.
There's been a lot of
Wait. What? Ping pong funny. Did you just make you just made this channel? Wow. I would subscribe, but I'm not on my main channel. Send it to me on Discord, I'll subscribe. Sheesh. Okay, last video, guys. Last video. No. Sorry, that's a stretch.
Misleading us. And as a result, the food that we eat has actually been eating into our pocketbooks. In all seriousness, you could save
No duh. When you order food to eat, every food you eat you have to buy. Isn't that messed up?
up to 30% the next time you go to the grocery store. And all it takes is one simple change. By the end of today's episode,
Don't
you'll be
order
asking
these
yourself,
chicken
have we just all
sandwiches?
been drinking the Kool-Aid for it to count for $6.99?
He sent one on Discord. Well, this is the last one for today, so we'll watch the one on Discord next week. If you get another... Bro, I feel like I have HD, right? Hey, copyrighted. If you get another other than ring finger, you need to be put down. I'm so confused.
When we really should be drinking the Flavorade for it to count for $4.99.
I thought it said 40 cents.
Hello, Impact. You know, theorists, I've got a confession. Something's been bothering me since my last trip to the store. In actuality, it's something that's bothered me for a while, but I'm only just getting around now to researching it and doing an episode about it since, as a YouTuber, my life is constantly...
Yo, same. Guys, as a streamer YouTuber, my to-do list is exactly the same. Nice timing. Actually, my to-do list is not that bad. 14-minute video, thought only short ones. No. I actually prefer longer ones if they're interesting. I don't know. I like ones that I could comment on. Whatever you guys want to send. If you send too long or whatever, I'll just watch a bit of it and then skip it probably. I'm just skipping around, you know?
Fodder for new content. You see, it all
Pigeon
started
saw into
with
the pigeon.
vitamins. The other day,
True.
I was at Target and spent way too long comparing the labels for various multivitamins.
Longer
And
videos
what
are
I was
fine.
finding was that those labels had practically the exact same list of
Yo, that editing is so good. What the hell?
ingredients in the exact same order. Maybe sometimes there was a very little difference in percent daily value, but for the product that I was looking for, nope, totally the same on every level. So why
Yes,
then
I
was
did.
one bottle $20 and the other just $10? What was causing one jar to be...
I don't know if this is a video on generic stuff. Yeah, it is. Okay. The knockoff is better. Yep. Well, most of the time knockoff like brands are the same exact thing. They're just knockoff brands. They don't have the consumer trust, or I learned about this in marketing in college, but it's pretty like obvious. Like if you see like gummy bears, right, by Haribo, which I don't know if it's popular where everyone is right now, but it's like a popular gummy bear company. They make gummy bears. It's like bears, but they're They're gummy. If you see that, they have like other ones that are gummy bears, but they're not made by the same company. But it's like the same thing, you know? I'm saying such revolutionary things.
Be nearly double the cost when the stuff inside was, at least according to the ingredients list, identical. Well, the big difference was branding. One was a name brand and the other a generic. And
yes, and it's the same thing with a lot of things, right? You go on YouTube and you find a video by someone. you type in Pokemon Nuzlocke, right? You go Pokemon Nuzlocke. You're like, I want to watch a Pokemon Nuzlocke. You start watching this. Why does this one have 76,000 views? Because this guy is more known than Ping Pong Moosters, right? But Ping Pong Moosters has the same quality video. Actually, some of these guys actually have really nice quality videos. Some of them, a lot of them don't though.
Is that enough to cause that $10 spread?
Yo, Haribo is so good. I freaking love Haribo too.
I kind of get that, but
I freaking love Haribo.
Those things that make them a whole $10 cheaper. In the end, I couldn't make a decision.
Bro, what are you saying? Gummy worms are not better. I'm also stubborn. Gummy worms are not better. Look, even everyone in chat is booing you. Like all 10,000 people watching right now. Gummy worms are good though.
But with a food theory topic.
Yeah, I freaking love gummy bears too. Good job, Pigeons.
Store brand products. Sure, I might be saving
the difference is they're not marketed.
$10 today.
I just saved 10 minutes of your life.
But should I actually be worried about sprouting a third leg out of my face because I'm sucking down some tainted vitamin C? How can I save money without sacrificing quality when I'm buying store brand food? And just how deep does this rabbit hole go?
Gummy bears is better. Oh my god. You know what, guys? On Monday, we're going to do a video. Or maybe even tomorrow. Probably Monday. Gummy bears versus gummy worms. Or best snacks or something. Because you guys don't understand logic. It's
Oil theorists
so sad.
is what I aim to answer today. When you pay full price for a brand name product, are you actually getting sold a lemon? The vastly more expensive.
Probably that gummy worms are better, Prince.
Brand name lemon. So who are our competitors? In corner number 1, brand name products. A brand name product might also be called a national brand because they're often owned, produced, and distributed across the US under that name. These are your favorite, very recognizable products. Your Campbell's soups, your Hershey's chocolate, your Lay's potato chips, and your Oreo cookies. They're
now I'm
brands that
hungry.
you know and love and trust. They're as American as your uncle's 4th of July picnic, and you'll eat them even if you don't absolutely love them because they're sold just about.
You know, there's probably a physiological or psychological response. A psychological response that leads to a physiological response to eating non-brand name foods. Like if you eat Oreos that aren't Oreos, right? They're just knockoff Oreos. You might think to yourself that they're lower quality because they're not Oreos. They're not called Oreos. And then when you eat it, your body might actually respond like as if it tastes worse when it could taste exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if that were true. Gummy bears are haram. That is true. But they're still good. You can't decide? Yo, are you kidding me? Twix is nasty. Kit Kat all the way. Kit Kat. Kit Kat Squad.
Is a lot easier than talking to your family. Which brings us over to contestant number 2, generics, also known as store brand, off brand, or no name products, which, by the way, is not how the stores want you to see.
What? Kit Kat's better, bro.
Label. Good on them dressing for the job that they want and not the one that they have. Now, back in the day, these things were pretty darn easy to spot. Getting their own aisle in the supermarket or packaged with stark white and yellow.
I got a
boxes
piece
of
so
cans that looked
bad.
like they fell out of a scientific testing facility. Nowadays, though, grocery stores have gotten so good at marketing their homegrown products, you might not even.
Ooh, lotion. What would you need that for? Anyway.
Realize that they're owned and operated by the store itself. Oh sure, for every Pringles, there's a Prongles. For every I can't believe it's not butter, there's a butter it's not.
Wait, is there Prongles? Oh, I pressed refresh by accident. God damn it. What are these ads? Why do they keep showing me hentai ads? I don't watch that on this account. Prongles? Twix is better? Twix is nasty. I don't like Twix. What's a Prongle? There's no Prongles. They lied to me. Oh my god.
It's not butter, there's a butter, it's not, or a wow, I totally thought it was butter.
Right? Bro, me and Pigeons actually have taste buds. That is so true, bro. Kit Kat is so good, I don't even like Twix. That's literally, that's what I would say. Kit Kat is just a chocolate cookie. Chocolate cookies are bad, first of all. Second of all, no, they're like wafers. They're like chocolate wafers. So good, bro. I can't never decide between the two. On this... Do you watch hentai on your main? No. I watch it on my phone usually.
Or a unbelievable, this is not butter. There's so many of these, but not all of them are so hilarious.
Is that a Chinese one?
Target strolling through the syrup.
Never buy Chinese products. I'm just joking. Don't cancel me.
Selection planning an epic pancake breakfast, you might come across Pearl Milling Company original syrup, Log Cabin original syrup, Market Pantry original syrup, Archer Farm pure maple syrup, and Simply Balanced organic pure maple syrup. The first two, Pearl Milling and Log Cabin,
Was
are
it that
national brands
funny?
distributed by Target. The latter three, Market Pantry, Archer Farms, and Simply Balanced, are all private label Target-owned brands. With all
I'm not
the products that
racist.
them in every single way. Unless you're actively looking for it, you wouldn't really know about this. Let's just say that they've come a long way from Great Value Frosted Flakes. They're acceptable. But okay,
True. Great value is good value.
outside of the hilariously bad packaging,
Is this Pokemon?
is there actually a quality difference with generic products? Because let's face it, that's the thing that really matters here. And the numbers back this up. In various consumer surveys, more than 60% of respondents say that they're likely
Not
or very likely to
racist.
choose brand name products. The biggest reason for that is trust in quality, with 78% of responses saying that brand name products are sometimes or always better in quality than generic.
That's such BS. Consumers dumb. Sometimes they are better though. Sometimes they do taste better. For pie China, I never said that. Maybe I said that. No Twix have caramel. Kit Kat don't have that. Caramel is nasty. Oh my god. I don't like caramel. Magikarp got hops. I've been holding in my pee-pee for so long, guys.
Generic products.
No,
That's what
you.
people believe, but is there actually a difference? Or
I
is
am
it all
nasty
built
a
on
little bit.
perception? Well, let's start with taste. A 2014 study by the American Association of Wine Economists found that when comparing three major beer brands, to
My pee is gonna explode.
couldn't tell the difference. Sometimes even when the subject claimed that
my
one of the beers
pee-pee
tested
wants
was
to
a
go.
beer of choice. But how would a blind taste test play out when facing off between your grocery store's in-house goods versus a popular name
White bread? Ew. That is so racist. I would never buy white bread.
brand? Well, a study published by University of Chicago showed that in a blind taste test, people surveyed predicted that they would choose a name brand product even if they thought highly of the grocery store's brands. In a surprising twist, an
I don't like caramel.
overwhelming majority chose the grocery store brand.
Oh, I gotta
completely
poop
upending
now.
people's expected reactions. Additionally, a 2009 issue of Consumer Reports found that when they compared brand
Get that
alternatives
racist
in
white
29
bread off
categories,
screen.
in 23 cases, they were either
Oh! Stop showing the racist white bread. Jesus Christ.
deemed equal or the generic option.
Poop
won.
stream.
It concluded that when you're buying name brand
Okay. Cheetos are nasty. Okay? They get all over your fingers, but not in the good way. Doritos all the way. Oh my god, these are such easy decisions for me.
products, you're only paying for the cost of the research, development, and marketing that literally helped to make it a household name in the first place. But while us plebs might not be able to tell an Oreo from a Hydrox from a cream, what
Plebs.
about actual cooks with real palates? Surely they should be able to tell a
Ooh,
difference.
that's
right? Well,
interesting.
they can, and they agree. Chefs actually agree and opt
I feel like these videos are so interesting for the first half, and then he just gets so specific that I don't care anymore.
into generics, or at least that's what their buying habits suggest. According to a 2014 study reported on by NPR, chefs
The bread is rich too. Bro, mad privilege. Both of them were white bread, true.
were more likely to buy generic groceries than the general public. This was especially true in cases where chefs bought raw ingredients for baking.
Whoa. Are they saying that only black people can be chefs? That's kind of racist.
Like powdered sugar, brown sugar, granulated sugar, baking soda, baking mix. However,
Brown sugar. That's the good sugar. Jesus, I gotta stop.
there were product categories where chefs tended to choose name brand products.
Wait!
More often, specifically when it comes to dairy products, including name-branded yogurts and ice cream. This is pretty darn good news for me because now I feel completely justified shelling out the big bucks for Ben & Jerry's every time I go to the store. So in general, it seems that if you're going to buy staple food products, sugars, baking sodas, pastas, breads, things like that, generic brands are going to be similar
Oh my god, they keep showing the classic white.
in quality but cheaper. And not just
And the enriched.
similar, but sometimes exactly the
Oh my
same. When it comes to those raw
God.
ingredients like flour, sugar, cornstarch, and pepper, those are regulated, which means that even at the cheapest levels, the quality is ensured to be there. But it
Oh, and only white people can be doctors? This is so racist. Can we cancel this guy? Jesus Christ.
doesn't stop there. Stores will often hire out
Isn't
the
that the
manufacturers that
president,
make the brand
chef?
name products
I
so they can
don't
make their
know.
own version of that product to sell for cheaper.
Classist
Despite what benefits a name
whites.
brand might advertise, they're likely to deliver some
Oh,
results
don't talk
generic
about my bladder again, bro.
options. So why don't we see more people opting into generics?
Please.
Well, when it comes
Oh, only white people are smart enough to buy generic food? Bro, I can't watch this video anymore. It's just so racist.
to our experience of food, turns
But
out
we're gonna
that
keep
other sectors
watching.
play disproportionate roles in the experience. Back in
Now they give me an ad.
For 3
Us,
generations,
an ad.
Sargent-
Oh, and they give us Sargento. A brand name. Cheese. How about the generic ones?
My job.
Oh my god. Never but hey. That's racist.
In 1975, Pepsi did this huge marketing campaign called the Pepsi Challenge, where they were trying to show the world that Pepsi was the preferred flavor of soda over Coke. As you might imagine, Pepsi won. Go figure. They paid for the whole thing. Of course they won. There are also a lot of ways to skew a blind taste test in this sort of situation that are probably best reviewed
You probably just add sugars to the Pepsi.
on another episode. But anyway, what I'm more interested in is that in 2004, a group of researchers at Baylor...
You got 5 ads? I'm sorry, bro. I don't control ads. I do a little bit, but I don't control much. Basically, when I go pee-pee, I put an ad because then you don't miss anything. And when I put an ad on, then it removes ads for the next X amount of time. So, yeah, I don't know why they do that. Well, I do know they're trying to make money, Twitch.
College of Medicine wanted to redo that same taste test, but
I don't know,
this time
Nathan.
also
I don't know.
branding's impact on the brain. They found that when subjects were given information on what they were drinking before they tasted it, Coke activated areas of the brain associated with memory and emotion, whereas knowing that it was Pepsi had no effect on the subject's brain. For some, those who drink Coke are just loyal to the memory and feeling of it, even if their blind taste buds beg to differ. So when you're
Coke is like that. Aqua. There are too many ads on YouTube now. I think the platform upped the ad count since more people turned to YouTube for entertainment after the pandemic. That could be possible. Same with Twitch. They added mid-roll ads. Just get an ad blocker. No. Just subscribe to my Twitch channel, and then you won't see ads. But yeah, ad blockers probably are fine.
The memory of a specific brand or product is actually trumping your own experience.
Trump? Now they bring politics into this? Pfft. How could we keep watching this video?
Taste. You know the saying, there's no
Sub is the best ad block.
Absolutely account for taste. It's all the
True.
other senses that become inconsistent. That said, even walking into the grocery store knowing that your brain is actually lying to you about your perception of your favorite brands might start to impact whether or not you might let your taste buds take the wheel once in a while.
Oh, this is what I was saying before. I like how he addressed this. I literally addressed all his points in like 30 seconds, and he makes a 14-minute video. Bro, I'm so cool.
And if you choose to trust your actual taste,
give me another sub. I guess since you asked, I'll do it. I'm too nice. Anyway.
Ramsey Solutions, an online debt management company, estimated this year that buying generic products will cost you anywhere from 28 to 65% less on any given meal, and over time would likely save you over $1,000 a year on dinner alone, making the exact same recipes that you're already making using the exact same ingredients, just with a different name.
Oh my god, yay! You see, I would... Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's for Hanukkah gift. You see, I would have... I usually play guitar, but I gifted it, so I'm not gonna play guitar.
Name and image on the cover. Historically, generics were cheaper to produce, so they could sell at a lower price. So it is.
Only white people can have telekinesis. Gift 10 on my channel too. If people did not ban my Godmonkey account, I could have gifted a sub myself. Aw, I'm sorry.
It's still important to check ingredient list.
You love your You spelled Hanukkah wrong. Oh God. Can you ungift the sub? Oh my god.
For any differences that could affect the quality, health, or taste. But all of this begs the question: how can grocery stores get away with copying the look and flavor of your favorite foods and stock them on the shelves side by side?
Bro, there's no Prongles. I looked this up. Prongles. I've never heard of this. This is BS. This guy just made up his own Prongles. That looks cooler than Pringles, not gonna lie.
Well, you know what that means. Time to dip into one of our favorite subjects on this channel, licensing and patent law. Innovations in food are technically eligible to be patented, though that can be easier
Yeah,
said
I
than
could
done
ban
due to the
people.
nature of the recipes themselves. According to the United States Patent and Trademark Office,
It's just the Japanese spelling. There you go, Hanukkah, yeah. There's 2 ways technically to spell it, but I'll accept that. I like that way, so I'll accept that.
may be given out to any new and useful innovation. Considering the history of...
No, you can't unsub. You can't, like, take away a sub. Chanukah, yeah, that's the other way. There's actually several ways, I think.
Basically spans the entirety of human existence. Having anything that's truly original in the culinary arts is going to be difficult to define and prove. Most new recipes evolve from existing ones. For example, Justin's nut butter peanut butter cup is...
Nut butter. Nut. Okay.
Reese's dressed up in fancier pans. There is nothing truly original there. No, in an unexpected twist, patents don't...
Monday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to rate snacks. Be there or be square. We're going to rate Reese's. We're going to rate Kit Kat. We're going to rate all these sucky snacks. I might even buy them to try them on stream to rate them. It's a lot of work, but I'm going to do it for you guys. And then after that, we'll go into the new Pokemon Nuzlocke, most likely. But yeah.
Seem to be the best way to protect yourself from generics eating your lunch.
Didn't give me errors.
Consider
Hanukkah is not... No, what is this? Hanukkah. No one says Hanukkah. You see? Even Google's like showing results for Hanukkah. Come on, girl. Oh my god. So cringe.
Secret protection. By US Patent
Never
and Trademark Office
believe.
definition, quote, trade secrets consist of information and can include a formula, pattern, compilation, program, device, method, technique, or process. This means something like how the ingredients are mixed together, shaken, not stirred, or some kind of secret formulation only known to the company. Under this category, think Dr. Pepper, KFC fried chicken, Bush's baked beans, the internet's fictional favorite, Krabby Patties, all protected by trade secrets and each company marketing their recipe as a secret in their advertising. My biggest question about this then was how could you get away with actually having secret ingredients in food, since don't you have to list the ingredients on labels, like for allergy reasons, that kind of thing? Well, yes, but the FDA in the US is very specific that those labels should not infringe on trade secrets, meaning that...
Interesting. So you could put ingredients, but not put the actual ingredient. I think. Are you gonna do community games again? Yeah, we do community games from time to time. I don't... Not tonight. Next time we'll do community games might be late next week, I think. Me on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. I don't even know what that emote... What is that? This is the black square. Are you gonna have your TV off? Is that... I don't get
companies
it.
can indeed leave off spices, flavorings, and the like if those are part of their proprietary methods. And somehow, in a day and age when you can practically track every pair of shoes your old high school flame's been wearing for the last 10 years, many of those secrets have managed to remain secrets. Famously, companies like Bimbo, who make Thomas's English Muffins, and Hellmann's, who have trade secrets filed in the industry, have sued former employees, even going as far as to bar them from working at other companies in order to protect their trade recipes. So Coca-Cola keeps their recipe in a literal vault in Atlanta, which, of course, I have visited to pay my respects. So while they're great in the sense that they don't expire, if the secret leaks, suddenly the gig is up. Based on that, you kind of have to wonder how many hitmen are out there working for companies like General Mills to keep their trade secrets intact. We told you tricks is for kids. Generics companies are also just fantastic at reverse engineering the formulas, which is also...
Yeah, that's what I... Reverse engineer, doc. They're like this.
Tastes like 7% sugar.
And then they just add 7% sugar. I don't know if that's a thing. Me on Sunday at 9:10 p.m. Eastern time. Ooh.
Loud, and how your Flash gets to sit alongside LaCroix in the Safeway shelf, which is just a waste of time across the board because LaCroix is gross. That is not a theory. I really don't like LaCroix. But all that being said, we are entering into a golden era for grocery stores' homegrown products, and the rapidly growing market share they control proves it. A Nielsen report found that at the end of 2017, private label sales grew 3 times faster than branded products. Generic
That's
brands
actually
are
pretty
full-on
crazy.
movie makeover montage sequence right now, improving their quality while also revamping their look. They're expanding their range with options.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of knockoff, stuff also a lot of them tend to be sometimes healthier, and because people look at their health a little more nowadays, I think that's my assumption would be that changed, made people look at knockoff brands more often.
Like organics, naturals, premium, mid-tier, and value lines. Instead of buying Safeway brand and bleak packaging, we now have the option to buy O Organics, Open Nature, Lucerne,
Yeah,
many,
yeah. So it could be like, it's all organic because it has like one ingredient in it.
More of their own brands. On top
Your
of
new
all
cash
that,
card is
generationally
there?
released
Let's
ways
go.
to
Congrats.
Millennials and Gen Z both have less affinity for specific brands
Very
than
nice.
previous generations. Partially because they're faced with so much choice out there in the market, and partially because big national brands have shown themselves to be less than trustworthy, either because of some issue with ingredients, or some issue with marketing, or just some issue with their
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson got into stuff. For sure.
values. Why be loyal to a brand that doesn't share the things that are important to you as the consumer? These kinds of meta-brand alliances take us even further away
That's
from
interesting.
trusting our taste buds, but do ironically lead to a more generic-friendly buying experience. The last and honestly most devastating battle that national brands are having to face currently is generics' ability to market based on incredibly detailed user data. The reason that ugly generic packaging is replaced with stealthy generics disguised as their own brands, while the national chains like Target and Costco have data from millions of customers that tell them exactly what they want to buy, the words that they want to see printed on the packaging of ingredients, the colors on the bags, the placement of the products.
How do they have that
all that
info?
data as
I could say placement in the aisle makes sense, right? So if you go to a certain area and you always take cereal from that area, then... But words printed on the ingredients?
as well as the data of how the national brands perform. Remember, we're now living in a world where your grocery store local buyer card number is linked to your cell phone, and your credit card data, and your location history, and all your spending and browsing habits. They know everything about you, meaning that the products that they make and the marketing they use to
Bro, how'd they know I look like that?
target you can be anything but generic. The national brands are all playing a pretty rigged game here when it comes to competing with these mega food sellers, but that's probably a theory for a different day.
His
So,
editing
if
is
you're
good.
overwhelmed and oversaturated with brands and products, how do you manage to make the choice? Well, in most cases, it comes down to comparing ingredients and assessing your values and what you want from your product. But you are definitely going to get a better price on a generic. So in most cases, you can
On
have
a
your perfectly
generic.
fine Betty Croker cake mix and eat it too. But hey, that's just a theory.
Mom, can we have Frosted Flakes? We have Frosted Flakes at home. Great value. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't taste as good. He releases 3 high quality videos per week. That is pretty crazy. You're gonna stream new game? Nice. What game? I'm gonna assume that he has. I mean, he has a lot of subscribers, so he probably has an editor that helps out, right? I wonder if this is going to be on Seas, the ocean thing. Oh my god. Wait, is it? What is the fundraiser for? Oh, maybe not. Everyone has... Oh, this is for Game Theory. Never mind. Everyone has been... Wow, that's a lot of money. What the hell? Everyone has been doing the water... clean the beaches. There's been so many YouTubers that have been doing this fundraiser. What's it called? Mr. Beast. Team Seas, yeah. He has 3 channels? Oh wow, that is impressive. Yeah, so I wonder if there's a way to see every single YouTube video that has this. I'm kind of curious. Ooh, it just updated right now. Did you guys donate? I donated like $5. All right, guys, we're gonna end the stream with the. What the hell? Is she pregnant? What the hell is this? She's pregnant. This is so dumb. Oh, she married it's interracial. It's pretty cool. And with that, we're gonna end the stream. I donated to a different charity event. Okay. Video sent mad funny. You guys, I was gonna end the stream. Japanese technique. Okay, let's watch this. We'll watch this. After, I tend to do 2-hour streams for the watching video ones, but yeah, they are definitely my shortest streams. Nissan, try to. You said mad funny, not age appropriate. That's fine. Send it in this chat. Launch that little shit. Okay, this and Nissan's and Supez's video, and that's it.
Overcome laziness.
Ooh.
From time to time, all of us set ourselves a new goal or challenge. And
Yes.
just as often, in the end, we fail to achieve them. You end up telling yourself that you are not ready yet, that you will do it next week.
Not me. Not me. Oh my god, I have so many notifications. I'm so popular. How do I clear all my notifications? I did it. Oh wait, I used to have a screensaver that said, yesterday you said tomorrow. Now I forgot I changed it. Now it says your plan and it's a straight road. And well, you guys don't care.
Next month, or even next year.
I guess it's for procrastination. I don't know.
Why do we give up so easily? The answer is fairly obvious. We try.
Oh, let me guess. We try to achieve our goals too much and too fast.
Try to achieve our goals
Oh
too
my
much
god.
and too fast.
That's right.
We get sick of the new responsibility, and it's tough to change old habits and try something new. As a result,
It's so funny to see the types of videos YouTubers put in, like for the voiceover.
you
Sometimes
get tired and bored very quickly. How to stop
we
procrastinating?
procrastinating until we get isekai.
This is a great solution to
We
overcome
procrastinate things until
laziness
next
and
week.
achieve anything you wish.
Yeah, I think
This
most people
method
procrastinate.
takes less than a minute, and results are quite impressive.
You see, I procrastinate with chess, so I don't feel that bad.
The technique is called
Kaizen? Let me guess what it means. They both can mean many things, but my guess is like every, or like every time, like time maybe, or each. And Zen could come from Sen? I don't know.
Or the 1-minute principle.
Oh, never mind.
Kaizen originated in Japan.
The
and it is
1-minute
something that
principle.
anyone can attempt in any
I've never
sphere
heard
of
of
their
this.
life. In Japan, for instance, it's often applied to improve management techniques. The word itself contains 2 roots, kai, che.
Ah, change. I like how they show it. Okay, so interesting. Yeah, so Kai change, I recognize that symbol. Zen, I don't. That's a bit more difficult. Change and wisdom. Interesting.
Wisdom. It means you shouldn't change your life.
Who is procrastinating in the sixth lane?
And wisely. The new habit should occur as a result of your reflection and life experience.
Damn.
This method was invented by
Masaki Imai,
who believes
yeah.
this philosophy can be applied just as successfully to the world of business as it can be to one's personal life. How does this method work?
Yeah, how does it work?
In Japanese culture, the practice of Kaizen includes the concept of the 1-minute principle.
Sorry to keep pausing. I feel like I have a book on this. This sounds so familiar. I don't know where I've heard this before. Kaizen. I definitely heard that. I do have a book on it. I'll be right back.
Wait. Never mind.
I've definitely seen it before. It looks super familiar.
For self-improvement. At the heart of this method is the idea that you should practice doing something for a single minute. Every day at the same time. Just for a minute.
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do a push-up and then put it on TikTok. Check out the TikTok. Kaizen. That's it, I did it. That's not really a minute, but I'm gonna... It is what it is. Kaizen. Kaizen. If you know, you know. Okay. Anyway. Let's continue the video. I'm just gonna put that in there in chat.
No more. It shouldn't be any trouble for absolutely anyone, right? Even the laziest person can carry out a given task for such a small amount of time.
I mean, this is pretty like common procrastination technique or whatever, right? If you just sit down and you tell yourself you're gonna read one page of the book, you know, and you just read one page, then it's easier to just sit down and continue because you already started. But yeah.
We usually find an excuse not to do something when faced with carrying the task out
Yeah.
for 30 minutes or an hour a day.
But I feel like techniques don't really mean much unless you're in that mindset, right? They're like tools. Like if you had a hammer doesn't mean much unless you're in the mindset of using the hammer.
Yeah.
The problem is delaying
However,
starting at all.
You should be able to do it for at least 60 seconds. Without
The problem is having the mindset to just do what you need to do, right? So, for example, I started to not use my phone for the first hour of every day, and I'm able to do it because of my mindset. My mindset is just like, bro, the day is better for me when I don't use my phone for the first hour, and that's it. It's working so far. Once my mind goes astray, like hopefully this doesn't happen, but it's like it's fine to use it, whatever. Then that might change, but yeah, exactly, discipline. You lost too many brain cells to explain. Let's just continue watching.
Why does the method work? At first glance, this
Why does it sound like he's talking to me like I'm a baby?
practice might seem doubtful and ineffective for people who have grown up in Western culture that claims the idea that you can only achieve your goals by undertaking enormous efforts. However, it's not true at all. Challenging programs of self-improvement that deprive you of vast amounts of energy can end up exhausting you and leave no tangible result.
Burnout, right?
Whether it's doing push-ups or
I just
studying
did
a foreign language,
push-ups.
the task won't seem
I
like
just did
something
that.
unpleasant that you have to get through. Instead, it will become an activity that brings you joy and satisfaction. Take One little step at a time,
Joy
and
and
you will move on the
satisfaction.
path of self-perfection. The 1-minute principle lets you see the progress you're making, and it's a critical part of forming new habits. It's an
I don't know if it's just me or if every single YouTube video today, or maybe it's just my head right now, but it feels like every video explains something for like 20 minutes that could be said in like one minute. I don't know.
Overcome that lack of confidence you might have in your abilities, as well as free yourself from guilt and helplessness. You need to experience a sense of victory and success to move forward. The moment those feelings inspire
Welcome
you,
back,
you will
Nico.
gradually begin to increase the amount of time you spend on the goal that you have set for yourself. Maybe at first just for 5 minutes more, but this will soon turn into half an hour and then even longer. All you have to do is understand what it is you want to achieve.
All you have to do. It's not all you have to do. Or maybe it is, but it's a lot of work, right?
And start doing it for just a minute every single day. Have you already tried this technique? How did it work for you? Share
not
your
well.
experiences in the comments below. It will
Okay.
help others improve their lives and finally stop procrastinating. Don't
I still procrastinate.
forget to hit the like button and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.
Bright side of life. Okay, last video that we're watching today. That was a cool video though. Kaizen is the only thing I'm good at. That's not true. You could speed run and you play level-headed it good, right? The key to combating laziness is having the mindset to overcome. Well, then all these baby steps told in video, speech, and books are used to develop the mindset. I kind of agree, maybe to a little extent, but it seems like all of these things are more like tools to be used when you already have that mindset. Because it's like everyone knows, right? If you exercise and you don't eat, then you'll lose weight. Everyone knows that, right? That's stuff that you can do to achieve the goal of losing weight. But actually losing weight is much harder. Why? Because you need to have that mindset into going into like losing weight, right? It doesn't matter if you know the stuff. So I think maybe it could help you a bit, but I think, you know, it's more so just being able to push yourself into that mindset, which is, I think, really hard. And yeah, I don't know why we're looking at this person's butt. Oh, Mass Effect. I already can guess that this is like what this is, but let's watch it. How do you develop this mindset? I think that's the hardest thing to figure out. That's one of my life goals, trying to understand how to create a habit, a long-lasting habit. I think that's very, 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 very hard to do. So what I try to do is I try to pay attention to habits I have now and how I formed those habits. So for example, I play chess a lot lately. I get into the habit of playing chess pretty much every day. When I pee in the bathroom, whatever, right? But like, what made me get into that position? It kind of happened out of nowhere. So like, if you reflect on stuff that you already built habits for, that might help for understanding how to build habits in the future. But I don't know. Don't eat. Eat with the calorie deficient. Yeah, it's hard to do it every day. You pee for a whole chess match. I end up sitting down after I pee just to finish the game. Don't eat. Do you watch the Infographics Show channel? Yes, I've watched that before, yeah. See a doctor. I don't pee for the whole chess match. Unless it's a 1 minute one. No, not even that. Can you help me start the habit of doing my homework? Let's watch the next video. What's with you and your bottle? I really need to pee. That's why. And I've been holding it in. That's why. But I'm still going to hold it in. The only real answer to developing this mindset. Yes! Buy the $200. If you tier 3 subscribe to this channel, you will understand how to build the correct mindset to doing the things that you want to do in life. And you will be in the Sigma grind set. How I made him. Yeah. Yeah, you could, not on this stream because we're actually going longer now, but you could send a link of your stream on the Discord under self-promotion. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pee. I think you're right. I think it's important to pee sometimes. I'm actually an idiot. I forgot to press the ad button. It's not for money, by the way. It's so that more ads don't pop up for you guys in the future. Oh, I feel so much better now. Now I can do math. Nope, not anymore. Ooh. This is not PG, guys. So.
Shepard, there's something I wanted to mention.
I think your butt is a bit more important.
I'm flattered. I think.
I suppose you want an interview.
Even better. I think we can help each other. I'm a
Why do her eyes look like that?
military reporter with the show called
Battle Tips. Appeared on just about all kinds of
Whoa, 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 whoa! This is so stupid.
Report to the ship as soon as possible. We're bang, okay?
Do they bang in the game?
Great Commander Shepard. I'm here for war. Oh, sure you are. I'm kidding. I'm here for your sister.
What?
Leave your ass on a leash in bed with me.
It's kind of hot. So the 1 minute principle is one out of many techniques to build a habit to develop the mindset. So you don't already need the mindset to start the 1 minute principle, because if you already had the mindset, you don't have to think of the technique. You just do it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the right word is not mindset then. I'm thinking more so of like if someone goes on a diet, right? Why do diets fail a lot of the time? Because you think of it as a diet and not a lifestyle change, right? But if you I think mindset is still an okay word to use here actually. But if you thought of it as a lifestyle change, then you might be more successful. Because if you're going into it with the thought that, okay, I'm going to change this for the rest of my life, I'm going to change this thing about me, then you're going to be better equipped mentally to just handle it, no? They cut a bunch of dialogue and edited stuff. Becomes the most famous line and it was never said in a game. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. The difference is the one with the mindset, just do it, and the ones without have to treat their goals like homework to get things done. Yeah, I think so. Discipline is that you do it even if you're not in the mindset in those days. You can't be motivated and in the mood every day. You have to do what you have to do regardless. It's hard. Yeah, I find it very interesting how I have one of my friends, he's just disciplined to a T. And I find it so fascinating. Like he sits down and he studies Japanese every single day without fail for hours. I don't know how he does that. But yeah.
Thank you, Commander. We'd have never gotten off if you hadn't come. Someone didn't get off. Damn it. Jason Prangley came when he was 6 years old.
Nice.
What the fuck? You've always stayed focused even in the
This
worst
is so
situations.
stupid.
I don't know how you do it.
Steak, Liara. I think about when there's so much steak.
Okay,
I love steak.
I know. I wish I had your confidence. What if these are our last days and we spend them scurrying around?
Come on, Liara.
Sorry.
Something wrong?
Oh, you know, this and that. Shepard, I'm a Reaper Doomsday device.
Oh, shit.
Sheesh.
Talk to him. Lean on him. Take him to dinner. Talk dirty to him.
What do you watch this in the bathroom, Nissan? Supez? My problem is picking one thing to focus on. There's 8 of them? Oh. Look up Figure Fantastic on Twitch, please. Okay. I typed TW and it went straight to Twitter. Oh, stupid browser. Look what I do for you guys. Figure Fantastic. What is that? Is that the game you're playing? Figure Fantasy? Oh my god, bro. For anyone wondering, this is the game Nathan is streaming right now. I love your profile pic. It's literally so awesome. Because it's me.
with Miss Alicia do a thing.
That's what you want me to raid? Oh my god, where was the video? Now I'm confused. There it is. I came across it like 2 years ago. Oh damn, it is dumb but funny. Yeah, yeah. Picking one thing to focus on is definitely hard. I try to pick multiple things to focus on, and that kind of helps in a way, because if I get at least one of those things done every day, then I feel like I'm doing something, you know? So I might have like, oh, let me edit, let me fix something for Twitch, let me do this, let me do that. And if I do one of those things or a couple of those things, you know, it feels better than doing none of them. So true, but you're describing mindset. You have to have the mindset to be disciplined and motivated enough to get things done regardless of mood. The non-disciplined people determine their actions based on mood. You have to have the mindset to be disciplined and motivated enough. How about people who are just disciplined naturally? Like my friend who's just disciplined to do his thing every day. He doesn't get motivated. I guess you just have to be disciplined, right? And you don't get motivated by mood and stuff. That makes sense. Is this hentai? No, makes sense. I have bad luck when I try pulling for male characters. Okay. I want to learn to code, play piano, stream more, etc. So do it all, bro. Put it like... what I found also is that I think it's easier when you kind of give yourself time to do things. So I noticed that when January hit around last year, January, February, and I decided to stop streaming on YouTube and start on Twitch, I was streaming less for some time, I think. And I basically went off of YouTube for a while. And I think the reason was I gave myself a goal, New Year's goal. By this date, I want to have this. And when you give yourself a short-term goal, at least from my experience, it's like the opposite of effective. Maybe there are some people that could just take that short-term goal and just like be like, okay, every day I have to work on this. But for me, I just get overrun with all the stuff I have to do. So instead, I give myself long-term goals. Or I don't even give myself goals necessarily. I just do the things. So for example, with chess, one of my biggest goals with chess is to become a national master. But I'm not giving myself a time limit or whatever for that. Like if I become national master in 10, 20 years, I've done it, you know? I think that helps, but I don't know. I've been setting up stream elements for the next time I stream, though. That's good. For streaming, just press the stream button. Ow. Press the stream button. Being consistent, I think, is important. Also, I'm not a big streamer, so I don't know if what I say matters much. Look on stream, I'm going to pull. Bro, wait, we have to finish the video.
His little fucking ass. Whatever it is. Call me if you need to.
Who told you about the females here?
No offense, Shepard, but the females belong to my soft dictator.
What? Oh no, she's dying. I don't know who she is, but...
I just wanted to bang you. I'll come by when you're feeling better. We'll bang, okay?
She's dying. She's...
See you soon.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Nice. That's funny. Simply become immortal, then outlive all humans, then become chess master by default. True. That's actually a good idea. You stream consistently, so that's good. With the jumping is funny. Yeah, but that's only one part of the equation, right? I'm gonna try to do daily videos soon. Daily vids on YouTube on a separate channel. Because the Pokemon ones are too far out. So yeah, hopefully I can use that Japanese technique, Kaizen, to help build my mindset to work all day on stuff, I guess. People who learn another language are very disciplined. Same for people who master an instrument. Surprisingly, completing video games, definitely streaming or being any type of content creator takes discipline. Yeah, I guess that's true to an extent too. But I've noticed with myself at least that I kind of downplay a lot of things that I do. Because I'm not doing enough in my eyes a lot of the time. Which is probably not the best thing. But yeah. You hate the jumping thing? I'll tell you what, bro. I'll give you more stuff to jump on right now. Look, I'll give more stars. I could generate stars artificially. Yeah, I was reading a book in Japanese, actually. Oh, where's the book? Don't look at my butt. Okay, not this book. Where is it? Oh, I found it. I found it. No, that's a game. Here it is. I found it. Okay. I was reading this book. It's not this book. God damn it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys don't know Japanese. So, I was reading a book that basically was talking about how our brains work and how it's easy for us to do certain, like, it's basically you like to do things that are fun for you. That's what makes it easier for you. Or more difficult, right? So the book gave an example of how you might not remember math equations for math class, right? But you remember the math that goes into figuring out who the best soccer player is, or the best, or the stats for different American football players, you know, and stuff like that. So it's like you remember stuff that you enjoy. So it's easier to do stuff that you enjoy. And yeah, I don't know. You've been trying all stream? You're welcome. See you tomorrow, Ping Pong. See you, Nissan. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, we're going to end here. We'll raid Nathan since he asked, and I'm such a nice person. And yeah, you don't even use the currency? Bro, it's the gambling part that you like, yeah? Which is, you know what? That's why gambling is a thing. Because it's addicting. Finally getting raid points. Yeah, we raid sometimes. You go to sleep earlier, that's why sometimes we're not there for that. I watched Patrick CC commentary and full-time streaming, and he concluded top streamers can be mentally unhealthy if they don't have balance in their lives. Oh, for sure, for sure. I know that Ludwig says that that to have different goals is a good thing, and that's what I have too, and I agree completely. So if you have a goal for YouTube, a goal for Twitch, a goal for, you know, chess, you know, a goal for something else, then it's easier to not feel like everything relies on one thing. I'm raiding the wrong account, bro. Oh my god, I aborted. Which account are you? Oh yeah, you're streaming on GodMonkey. Why are you stream? I'm so confused. Why are you changing? Why don't you use your main account to stream? Bro, I banned that account. You want me to raid an account I banned? Because I didn't want you to get double points. Oh, why am I such a good person? I'll raid you. It's GodMonkey version 1, right? Hey, I need you, hey, babe. It is. I will lurk, though, because I will be going. Unfortunately. But I might pop in later and watch a bit. Abort, abort! Go for life. Yeah, you can have life goals, several life goals, you know. Okay, we are rating GodMonkey version 1 in 2 seconds. Have a great one, guys. Well, actually, not in 2 seconds. I lied. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see y'all Monday. Wait, I have a button. I have a button. I have a button. I think this is the right button. Wait, actually, I think that's the wrong button. Yeah, this is the right button. Bye, guys. You can be version 2. Nice. Good night. See you guys. Sorry it wasn't too long, Aqua, but I always love talking to you and everyone else. Have a great night as well. I think I raided. I did raid, right? You got to stay. I need you, hey, babe. Yeah, I did.